Yeah, Gibson.
All right, this is a PD case, 2023 MM1970AO. You're here for an in-jail arraignment. It's one count of petty theft with a prior theft conviction. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. What are we doing with that one?
Entering a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to enter a plea of not guilty. You're going to get a court date downtown, okay?
Case to be heard in Division 61. Pretrial date is April the 14th at 9:30, courtroom 7C.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Oh, yeah, you still gotta move up, never mind.
All right, sir, your name?
Andrew Gonzalez.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, this is case 2023 CF3896AO. It was a warrant for grand theft third degree. The judge who signed the warrant set the bond at $5,000. We're going to stay the bond at $5,000. I'll also appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
Your Honor, are there
hold on.
any conditions, especially no return to the CVS?
I didn't read the affidavit. All right, yeah, there's a condition in your warrant from the judge who reviewed the affidavit. You can't return to the CVS or the scene where this was alleged to have occurred, okay? All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, your name?
Kari Williams.
All right, Ms. Williams, you're here. This is case 2022 CF8345AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant, so a probable cause determination has been previously made. Count one, the bond is $2,500. Count two, $250. Count three, $150. We're going to stay the bonds as to each count. Condition of your bond is no contact with any of the alleged victims, okay?
What are the charges?
Your Honor, I apologize. This also happened at I believe it's a used car lot. They didn't give the name of the business, but I can give you the address. It's alleged that a wallet was taken from that location.
Okay. All right, so no contact with the alleged victim and a no return to the state. Put the address on the record.
3720 Old Winter Garden Road.
3720
37.
Old Winter Garden Road. Can't go back there.
I don't even know where that's at.
Well, good. Then you don't go back there.
So the bond stay, Judge?
Yep.
These are three.
Is this one? Oh, okay.
All right, so we're done with the moves up. This is all just, we're
I'm sorry, I just need them, because,
back in it now, right? Okay.
do you have some?
Yep. All right, your name, sir? You can come up.
Carlton Lyons.
All right, Mr. Lyons. You're here on one count, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. It's a second-degree misdemeanor. Case is 2023 CT1286AO. Has PD been appointed?
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, let me up.
If not, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
We will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, so you're going to enter a not guilty plea. You're going to get a court date downtown, okay? All right, next court date.
Case to be heard in Division 62. Pretrial conference is April the 20th, virtual, at 1:30 PM, courtroom 12C.
All right. Good luck, sir. All right, next case, 2023 CT1404AO. Sir, your name?
Michael Roberts.
All right, Mr. Roberts, you're here on one count driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. PD's been previously appointed. What are we doing with this one?
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and Mr. Roberts would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Roberts, I was handed a plea form. Did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and you're waiving the rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
Anyone explain habitual traffic offender to you?
Oh, you can, but she explained it to me very well.
All right. Well, if your attorney explained it to you, I'm not going to explain it to you again, but do you have any, so you said she explained that to you very well?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right. Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you are on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, well, accept the no contest plea, sentence you to 20 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 20 days that you've already served. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. There's also mandatory court costs. In your case, it'll be about $351. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of that. If you plan on ever getting a license, you're not gonna be able to get one until you've paid that in full or you're on a payment plan making regular payments, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
good luck. All right, 23MM1125 AO, sir, your name?
Antonio Atkins.
All right, Mr. Atkins, has PD been appointed in this case? All right, if not, we will all, go ahead and appoint the public, Office of the Public Defender to represent you. It's 1 count of trespass in a structure, it's a second-degree misdemeanor, what are we doing with that one?
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the 7-Eleven located at 4305 North Pine Hills Road. There's a cost of investigation in the amount of $106 to the Orlando Police Department. And Mr. Atkins would like to accept the state's offer and enter plea of no contest.
No contest.
All right. All right, Mr. Atkins, please, to the best of your ability, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Sorry, shit. You swear a firm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Your name again?
Antonio Atkins.
All right, Mr. Atkins, I was handed a plea form. Did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, I did.
All right, you understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and you're waiving the rights that are listed at the top of the plea form? Got to answer out loud, yes or no?
Huh?
You just have to answer out loud, yes or no? I see you shaking
Oh,
your head.
yes, sir.
but There's a record of what's happening here today being made somewhere else, so you got to say yes or no so the microphone's
Yes,
picking. it.
sir.
All right, gotcha. All right. Under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here
No,
today?
sir.
Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
All right. You understand that by resolving your case here today, I already asked you that. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes, sir.
All right. We will accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 39 days in the Orange County Jail with 39 days credit time served, so you'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also have to assess court costs in the amount of $351 and cost of investigation of $106 to Orlando Police Department. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations. If you don't take care of them within a year and are not on a payment plan making regular payments, you'll have a suspension on your driver's license, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, also have to order that you do not return to the 7-Eleven at 4305 North Pine Hills Road. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have 30
I
days.
thank you, sir.
What's that? Yep.
Oh,
You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. You're all set.
I thank you, sir.
Yep. Good luck. All right, your name, sir?
Daniel Gilbert.
All right, Mr. Gilbert. This is 2023 MM1389AO. It's 2 counts, 1 count of petty theft of $100 or more. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. 1 count of resisting officer without violence. That's also a first-degree misdemeanor. Office of the Public Defender has been previously appointed. What are we doing with this one?
The state made an offer to resolve the case with an adjudication of guilt, 45 days in the Orange County Jail, no return to Discount Music Center located at 3301 Gardenia Avenue. There's also a cost of investigation of $145. I think it's 46 cents.
To OPD?
OPD, Your Honor, and Mr. Gilbert would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right. Mr. Gilbert, you heard what your attorney had to say. Is that your understanding what's happening here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Handed a plea form. You signed the bottom of the plea form?
Yes,
You understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial, and you're waiving the rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, you understand by entering a plea to a theft conviction, any subsequent theft conviction could be enhanced based on the prior conviction? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No.
All right. You understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll accept the no contest plea, and it's just to the petty theft count, right? Is resisting getting null pros?
No, Your Honor, it's to both of them.
It's to both?
Concurrent.
Okay. All right. So in count one, we'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 45 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 30 days' time served. Order that you do not return to the Discount Music Center at 3301 Gardenia Avenue. And we'll assess court costs and costs of investigation of $145.46 payable to the Orlando Police Department. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations. In count two, we'll adjudicate you guilty, send you to 45 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 30 days' time served to run concurrent with the sentence in count one. Also order that you do not return to the Discount Music Center at 3301 Gardenia Avenue. No further sanctions on count two. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. Is there anything further? No.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, sir. What division was that one?
The one we just did,
I don't know if it was one of mine. Was it? I thought it was
81.
Yeah. All right. All right, sir, your name?
Travis Hawkins.
All right, Mr. Hawkins, this is 2023 MO 193AO. One count of disorderly conduct. Office of the Public Defender has been previously appointed. What are we doing with this one?
We're gonna enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. We're in a plea of not guilty. You're going to get a court date downtown, okay? All right.
case we heard in Division 82. Pretrial conference is April the 27th at 8:30 a.m., courtroom 9.
Oh, I apologize. I misunderstood him, Your Honor. He did want to take the offer we had.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, no.
All right. So 2023 MO 193AO, it's one count disorderly conduct. It is going to be a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. Mr. Hawkins would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Hawkins, you heard what your attorney had to say. Is that you understand what's happening here today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Signed a plea form. Do you have the opportunity to read and understand the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right, you understand that by resolving your case here today, it's not going to be a trial, that you're waiving the rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that might affect your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right, you understand if you're not, do you understand that if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes, sir.
All right. So disorderly conduct will accept the no contest plea, will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 52 days in the Orange County Jail with 52 days credit time served. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also have to assess mandatory court costs will be about $351. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of that. If it's not paid in full within a year, you need to be on a payment plan, making regular payments. Otherwise, clerk's going to suspend your driver's license, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
That's him.
All All right, 2023 MO 198AO. Sir, your name?
Jonathan Larinaga.
All right, Mr. Larinaga, this is one count of disorderly conduct. What are we doing with this one?
And enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, enter a plea of not guilty. You're gonna get a court date downtown, okay?
Case to be heard in Division 81. Pretrial conference is May the 5th at 9 a.m., courtroom 6B.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Robin Parker, is that you? Medical. All right, 2023 MO 263AO.
Defense,
Yep. All right, sorry, you're gonna enter a plea of not guilty?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Robin can go both ways. Sorry, I didn't mean to infer you were a female in the back there. So Robin's one of those names that can be male or female, so. Anyway, pretrial conference,
Case to be heard in Division 61. Pretrial conference is April the 14th at 9:30, courtroom 7C.
thank you.
Did I say April the 14th or the 13th? What is that? April the 14th, I'm sorry if I said the wrong day. So, that's right. We signed it today. We signed it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, yeah. He said, "Sister, take over." Yes,
I'm gonna have to get on that.
yeah, get on.
I'm gonna start signing stuff to Division 50.
told him.
Yeah. He's gonna be, why is this trespassing Division 50? On that. All right, sir, your name?
Joshua Barnes.
All right, Mr. Barnes, this is case 2023 MMs 2066AO. Just want to count on trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. Is there an offer to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer to resolve the case is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 310 North Orange Avenue. And Mr. Barnes would like to accept the state's offer.
All right, Mr. Barnes, you heard what the attorney had to say. Is that you understand what's happening here today?
Yes.
All right. Being handed a plea form, did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
Yes.
Did you read and understand the plea form?
Yes.
All right, you understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and that you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes.
You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right, anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
You understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes.
All right. You understand if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes.
All right, so to this count, we'll accept the no contest plea, we'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also, that you order that you do not return to 310 North Orange Avenue. And also have to assess mandatory court costs will be $301. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of those, or to be on a payment plan making regular payments, okay? All right, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. Good luck.
Randy Chappelle is medical, Your Honor.
And, it's a waive, Your Honor. There's no offer.
Do I have Chappelle? What happened to,
Oh, sorry, I was looking at Chair,
what happened to Babowski? Bonded?
We have to give him MA number.
All right,
Babowski.
230007756.
They bonded.
So Chappelle's medical?
and I would ask that it be reset for tomorrow. There's an offer to resolve, Your Honor.
All right, we'll give it one shot. We'll reset that one until tomorrow. But in the meantime, I have reviewed the arrest affidavit and have determined there's probable cause, so we can go ahead and put that on. All right, your name, sir?
Hello.
Hello. Sir, your name?
Gariado Sharonfont.
All right, Mr. Charenfant, Here in one count of trespass on property after warning. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there is probable cause. Is there an offer to resolve this one?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. We'll set bond in this case at $250 in order that you do not return to the Lynx bus station, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. All right, ma'am, your name?
Monet Coven.
All right, Ms. Coven, this is 2023 MM147AA. It's one count of battery. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause.
And, Your Honor, she does qualify for pretrial release.
You do qualify for what's called pretrial release. It's a non-monetary release, so you'll be released as to this charge without having to post a bond, okay? The condition of your release are going to be as follows, that you do not have any contact with the alleged victim in this case. No contact means no contact, text messages, emails, Facebook, TikTok, anything like that. No communication through third parties. What is specialized treatment services? You tell your attorney. But I mean, I don't want to order not to return there if she's receiving, you know,
Oh, yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
okay,
It's a facility.
all right,
That's fine.
all right. So I'm not going to order you not to return there because you need to go there to receive whatever you got going on there, okay? All right. So just the only condition of your bonds that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, okay? All right, good luck. And that you possess, hold on, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay? All right, good luck, ma'am. Yeah. All right, sir, your name?
John Gandy.
All right, Mr. Gandy. This case, 2023 MM2081AO, it's one count of resisting an officer without violence. Is there an offer to resolve that case?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. I'm gonna set bond in that case at $250. You're also out on bond in 2022 CF 4748AO. The court's inclined to take no action on that. State, do you have a position on, in case he was out on bond on?
Well, Your Honor, it has been filed on pretrial is set for April 5th, but do you have another case of a violation of reporting requirements, Your Honor? I don't have a case number.
No, that's just the one that he's out on bond on.
Ms. Sullivan, is there another case?
I just have the case number 2022 CF 004748AO.
Okay, then I don't, it's listed, I have it listed as an add-on, but, that's fine.
That's the case he's, out of bond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take no action on that.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. He's coming tomorrow
Okay.
On this case
on that-
for
on-
in-jail arraignment?
on another case.
Oh,
It's another failure to,
It's another failure to register. He's scheduled for court tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
all right, well, still gonna take
And
no
then
action
he's out on
on,
bond on.
I'm gonna take no action on 4748AO today. But there's a hole, we'll probably see it, we'll see it tomorrow on the other case, okay? But you have a bond on the resisting. So what happened was you're out on bond. When you're out on bond and you get in trouble, you're no longer entitled to a bond. If a judge, you know, I'm not revoking it today, but you get in trouble, when you're out on bond, again, you're not entitled to a bond depending on who's sitting up here, they'll revoke it, you can be held no bond. I'm taking no action on that today. Apparently, there's a separate case for failure to comply with registration requirements or whatever it is. I don't, just what the conversation's been had in here. That's set for court tomorrow, so you're gonna come back tomorrow, and we're gonna address that other case, okay? I'll appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent you in the resisting case. They've been previously appointed in the case you're out on bond on, okay? Good luck, sir. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, 2023 MM2059AO. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent this defendant. That's another one, London. It could be a guy or a girl. Oh, it's female. All right. She refused.
waiving the judge?
There's an offer to resolve, Your Honor. Could we give her one more chance? If she doesn't come tomorrow, I can waive the appearance.
Yeah, well, I'll note that we've determined there's probable cause and we'll stay the bond for now, 500. We reset her for tomorrow. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Martin, it's 2023 MM 2087 AO. It's one count of petty theft. Was there an offer to resolve this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause. We'll set bond in your case, $250. You do not return to the Publix where this was alleged to have occurred, okay?
Yeah.
All right, good luck, sir.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good. Your name, sir?
My name is Jeff.
All right, Mr. Pierre, this is 2023 MM 2063 AO. It's one count of resisting an officer without violence, one count of trespassing a structure. Is there an offer in this case?
There is, Your Honor. However, he has no criminal history and would likely qualify for pretrial diversion. Given that he has no criminal history, I would ask for an ROR in this case.
Yeah. State any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Due to the facts of this case and the review of the arrest affidavit, I think RR is appropriate, especially in light of the lack of criminal history. So we're going to release you as, on your own recognizance with the following condition, that you do not return to where this was alleged to have occurred, okay?
I have one question, Your Honor. Am I gonna?
Run it through your attorney real quick. Because anything you say can and will be used against you, anything she says can't. So run it through her. Yeah. Hold on. State, do you have any objection to him going back one time to get anything that he has in the
Objection.
unit? All right. All right. You can go back to the property one time with the presence of law enforcement to get anything you need out of the unit, okay? Provided. And what if they don't want to let him in? That's the,
Yeah, because I have.
hold on. I want you to be able to go back, but because you've been allegedly evicted, you don't have really any possessory rights in that unit anymore. So the landlord, if they wanted to be a jerk, which sometimes landlords can be a jerk, would have every right to not let you go back into that apartment. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna allow you to go back one time with the presence of law enforcement to get any personal belongings. If they decide not to let you in, that's gonna be their prerogative, but you can tell them that, you know, you'll get paperwork from today that said, the judge that said I could come back one time, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Sir, your name? Your name, sir?
Giovanni, my apologies.
That's all right. Last name?
Lopez.
All right, 2023 MO 424AO. It's one count disorderly conduct. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do find there is probable cause. Stay the bond of this case in $250. With the condition you do not return to the 7-Eleven at North Summerlin Avenue, okay? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You have the bond with that condition, all right?
Yes, sir.
Good luck. All right, sir, your name?
Erlan Soto.
Say it again.
Erlan Soto.
All right, Mr. Soto, you're here on one count of disorderly conduct in 23 MO 425AO. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. There's no allegations that the cars he was approaching were stopped in accordance to a traffic control device, which that section of the municipal ordinance requires, so I'm inclined to ROR him unless state, do you want 24 hours to?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So we're gonna ROR you on the disorderly conduct. We're gonna take no action on the cases you're out on bond on, okay? So you'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Yeah. All right. We'll call him.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Presno Leon, certified Spanish interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Interpreter. We've got one individual in case 23 CT 203 AA needs your services.
23 CT 203 AA.
Correct.
Very well. At your service, Your Honor.
All right, he has the headset on?
Okay.
Interpreter can confirm there is connection with the headsets, Your Honor.
All right, sir, your name?
Freddy Omar Machado. Freddy Omar Machado.
Freddy Omar Machado.
All right, Mr. Machado, you're here on one count of DUI with blood alcohol over 0.15 or higher, or with a person under 18 in the vehicle. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit and do determine there's probable cause. Before I set a bond on that case, you're also, was he in diversion in the other case?
My apologies.
That's all right, I'm looking it up too.
Sí.
Yes.
Hold on one second, sir. Yeah, it looks like the PT contract was filed on February 7th.
Yes, Your Honor, he has been approved for pretrial diversion.
The reason I ask, I mean, is he still technically out on bond on that case?
Usually not. Your Honor, if you just take no action, the state will act accordingly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in 2023 CT 203 AA based on the recency of the prior DUI. I'm going to set bond in this case $10,000 with the condition that you consume or possess no alcohol. And that you do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All right?
Okay.
Good luck to you, sir.
You're taking no action.
Right. Thank you.
Does Your Honor require the services of the interpreter any further?
As far as I know, we do not.
At your service, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You too, thank you. All right, sir, your name?
Orlando Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez. It's case 2023 CT 2122AO. One count of drum while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. Two prior convictions, that's a 10-day minimum jail sentence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. do find there to be probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm gonna stay the bond in this case at $2,500 with the condition that you do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, okay? All right. Good luck. All right. Sir, your name?
Bronson Aaron.
What happened to Tejeda? They bond?
He was released PTR, Your Honor.
All right. Tejeda. So your name's Bronson Aaron? Aaron,
Yes, sir.
what's your first name?
Bronson.
Last name Aaron?
Yes, sir.
All right, make sure. Sometimes they get flip-flop. All right, sir. You're here pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause determination has been previously made by a judge who signed the warrant. Count 1's attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. Count 2, robbery with a firearm. Count 3, aggravated battery with a firearm. Count 4, aggravated assault with a firearm. He's not entitled to a bond on count 2, right?
That is correct, Your Honor,
All right. He is on count 1?
oddly enough.
Right. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set a bond on count 1 at $15,000. Gonna stay the bond on count 2 at no bond pending Arthur hearing downtown. Stay the bond on count 3, stay the bond on count 4. Conditions of the bond that you do not return to the scene where this was alleged to have occurred, have no contact with any of the alleged victims, and that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Your Honor, there were also co-defendants. I would ask that, it's not listed here, but if you read the affidavit, there were co-defendants. I ask that they be no contact with the co-defendants.
All right, as a condition of your bond too, I'm gonna order that you have no contact with any of the alleged co-defendants as well, okay? All right, good luck. All right. Ma'am, your name?
Tanya Bland.
All right, Ms. Bland.
Oh.
You're here for an initial appearance in 2023 CF 3913AO. Hold on one second. One count of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Set bond on count 1 of that case at $1,000. And count 2 at $100. You're also arrested on a warrant in case 2023 CF 3676AO. One count of sale or delivery of Schedule 1 or 2 narcotic. Bond in that warrant was set at $15,000. We'll stay the bond in that warrant. You're also out on bond on a handful of cases. (2021) CF 4776AO. Has that one been filed on?
Yes, Your Honor. Pretrial is set for May 18th.
All right, 2023 CF 1100AO. What about that one? That one's new.
Arrested February 2nd, no formal charges.
All right. 2022 CF 13911AO.
Arrested, no formal charges.
All right. And 2023 CF 546AO.
Arrested, no formal charges.
2022 CF 988BO.
It's 10988.
Oh, 10988BO. Okay,
All right.
that's okay.
Looks as though that was filed last week.
All right, and then 2022 CF, is that 190AO?
196.
196AO.
Trial is set for April 3rd.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. In each one of those cases you're out on bond on, we're gonna revoke the bond and set bond at none, okay? So you're gonna stay in here until you see the judge in those cases, or you got court dates coming up in some of them, so, and they're not that far away. So, good luck to you, ma'am. All right, sir, your name?
Campbell, Mr. Campbell.
All right, Mr. Campbell, this is 2023 CF 3899AO. It's one count, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, possession of methamphetamine with a weapon, possession of MDMA, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams.
Your Honor, I was going to argue no PC to the convicted felon portion of the possession of a weapon.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Go ahead.
Trying to- here it is. Okay. Your Honor, there's, the officer mentions that he's a convicted felon. However, there's no case number to reference that he is in fact a convicted felon. Blanket statement. I would argue no PC as to the convicted felon portion of the possession of a weapon.
All right, where do they say that?
It's on the second
Second
page.
page.
Third page.
3 of 5.
Well, yeah.
In the middle, it's just one sentence.
To my past. Rest of. So my second time I've been arrested in Orange County. He shouldn't have went in my past. Put it on.
I don't know. I mean, if you guys have case law, tell me I'm wrong. I just think that an allegation that they ran the individual through teletype and it came back that he's a convicted felon is enough for PC. That's a pretty low bar.
It's like that.
Okay.
But like I said, I've been wrong before and I will be wrong again, but.
Potentially.
All right. So I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable causes to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will set bond on count 1 at $1,000. Count 2 at $250. Count 3 at $100. Count 4 at $100. With the condition of your bond that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay? All right, good luck, sir. Yep.
Defense will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, well, appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Campbell. This is 2023 CF 3884AO. It's pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause determination's been previously made. We'll stay the bond on count 1 at no bond, count 2 at $1,000, count 3 at $250.
Yeah, the condition, Judge.
The conditions,
Allocation to, what I mean.
we're gonna allege, I don't know. No contact with the alleged victim, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, no return. All right, sir, your name? Your name, sir?
Shane Covert, sir.
All right, Mr. Culvert. This is case 2023 CF 3911AO. One count of driving while license suspended or revoked. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. We'll set bond in that case at $500. The condition you do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You're out on bond in case 2023 CF 770AO. What's the status of that case?
Pretrial is set for June 7th.
All right, based on the nature of the offense you're out on bond on and the new law, yeah,
May we approach on this case?
yeah. All right, sir. Because of the nature of the offense you're out on bond on and the new law offense, we're going to revoke your bond, in that case, set bond at none until further order of the court. To the extent your attorney argued, there's going to need to be some testimonies from somebody other than yourself as to what your attorney is going to say, so you can have him.
My son.
Oh, I thought it was your mom.
Who I went to go with the medicine.
All right, so, no, sir.
Just have my son waiting for me.
Okay, well, he's going to wait until you get a bond, okay? So good luck. Your dad picked up the stuff from the store, so you can call your dad and see what he can do, okay? All right, good luck. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Santiago, this is 2021 CF 12953AO. There's a warrant for a failure to appear. Was it a failure to appear? No. It's just a warrant. So a probable cause determination's been previously made. The bonds on the warrant, count 1, 5,000, count 2, 1,500, count 3, 500, will stay the bonds as to each count. Conditions to do not return to where this was alleged to have occurred. No contact with any of the alleged victims, okay? And hold on, we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Yep.
I believe an information was filed, but they only filed on the burglary of a conveyance. The state's double checking,
Okay,
but that's what I saw.
okay.
That is correct, Your Honor. We filed the burglary of a dwelling.
All right. So counts 2 and 3 were not filed on?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll delete the bond as count 2, delete the bond as count 3. We'll stay the bond on count 1 at $5,000 with the conditions that you do not return and no contact with any alleged victims. Okay,
On those two counts.
that's fine. Okay, I just, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to do, yeah. All right. All right, ma'am. Your name? Ma'am, your name?
Sandy Flynn.
All right, Ms. Flynn, it's 2021 CF 12871AO. It's a fair warrant for a failure to appear in that case. Why am I saying failure to appear? It's a warrant that was issued there.
It's one-
It is
This
FTA?
is failure to
It's
appear.
a failure to appear.
Oh, yeah, it says it right there. All right. 1 count of possession of methamphetamine, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. The bonds in the warrant were set at $5,000 and $100. We're going to stay the bonds as they are in the warrant, okay?
Okay.
And yeah, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Yeah, I've been in possession.
Previously set.
said it's good.
I've been out since 5 months. I've been in DOC
I'll let them know.
prison, so
I'll let them know.
actually how long will it take?
The attorney will come to see you.
All right, sir, your name? All right, Galucci, where's? Galucci Bonded. Okay. All right, this is case 2023 CF 3917AO. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, determined there's probable causes, counts 1, 2, and 3. Counts 1, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. Count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 3, possession of prescription drug without a prescription. Will stay the bonds on count 1, 2, and 3.
He does qualify for PTR, Your
Oh,
Honor.
he does?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Bonds, Your Honor.
All right. All right, we'll stay the bonds. As a, yeah, 1,500 and 250. And as a condition of your release, I'm ordered that you have no contact with Carla Pedroza, okay? No contact with her, the co-defendant, all right? Good luck.
You can just bond that.
All right, sir, your name?
Matthew Harrell.
All right, Mr. Harrell. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant. Is he entitled, he's not entitled to a bond on counts 1 or 2, right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, pursuant to a warrant, the judge that signed the warrant set the bond on count 1 at none, set the bond on count 2 at $25,000, counts 3, 4, and 5, set the bonds at $250 each. Count 1's kidnapping with a firearm, count 2, robbery with a firearm, count 3, grand theft third degree, count 4, possession of fentanyl, count 5, aggravated assault with a firearm. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to stay the bonds as they are in the warrant pending further order of the court.
It has some conditions.
And the conditions of the, yeah, thank you. The conditions of your bond will be no contact with the alleged victim or any potential witnesses, no return to the scene of any of the alleged offenses, all right? So no contact with the victim or any witnesses, and you can't go back to where any of this was alleged to have occurred as a condition of your release, all right? Good luck, sir. All right, sir, your name?
Sean Harrington.
All right, Mr. Harrington, you're here on case 2023 CF 3905AO, 1 count of possession of a controlled substance, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause, will stay the bond on count 1 at $1,000, count 2 at $500, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You're also out on bond in 2022 CF 10939AO. Has that been filed on?
Yes, Your Honor. Pretrial is set for tomorrow.
State have a position?
He's out on ROR, Your Honor. I would ask that you revoke the ROR and give him a bond.
All right. All right. We'll revoke the, we're gonna do that. We're gonna revoke the ROR in 2022 CF 10939AO, set bond in that case at $5,000, okay? You have pretrial conference, you have a court date in that case tomorrow apparently too. And if the PD hasn't been appointed, I think they have,
You are, Your Honor.
but you're appointed in both cases. All right, sir, your name?
Yes, Leaks.
All right, Mr. Leach, you're here in case 2023 CF 3918AO. 1 count of burglary of a dwelling, 1 count possession of MDMA, 1 count possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, find probable causes to each count. Appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. And count 1 will stay the bond at $2,500. Count 2 will set bond at $250. Count 3, $250. You're also out on bond on 2022 CF 9008AO. Has that been filed on?
Yes, Your Honor, pretrial is set for tomorrow. Again, he's out on ROR, so I ask that you revoke that and set bond. Also, with regard to the burglary of a dwelling, I would ask for no return and no contact.
All right. Fair enough. In the condition of your bond on the burglary of a dwelling case, the 2023 CF 3918AO, order that you do not return. My understanding was a vacant house, but would do not return there and no contact with any alleged victim. In case you're out on bond on 2022 CF 9008AO, you're out on ROR, we're going to revoke ROR, set bond in that case at $5,000, okay? You have a court date in that case tomorrow, all right? Good luck. All right, sir, your name?
Frank DeLon Lipsy.
All right, Mr. Lipsy, you're here. Case 2023 CF 2390AO. One count of grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle, one count driving while license suspended or revoked. That was pursuant to a warrant, so a probable cause determination's been previously made. We'll stay the bonds in that case, $5,000 on count one, $1,000 on count two, for $6,000 total, with the conditions that you do not return to the Manheim auction property and you have no contact with any Manheim auction employees. You're also out on bond for driving with a suspended license. In 2022 CT 3269AO. What's the next court date in that case?
May 8th, Your Honor, it's a status hearing.
He just had court today, Your Honor.
Downtown?
Yes, sir.
Probably want to see what's going on with. Here's what we're gonna do. I mean, we're gonna revoke the bond on that case and set bond at none until further order of the court, all right?
You said I set it to no bond?
Yeah.
I
Your
just
Honor,
talked-
hold on. Your Honor, looks like, I was just trying to make sure, it looks like they set a status here and he's trying to get his license. That's what the,
Well, I understand that, and that's kind of what I was guessing, but when you're trying to get your license, you can't be out there allegedly stealing cars either.
Sir,
Hold on. I
I'll
don't,
talk about the facts.
all right.
Your Honor, my only argument is that if he's in here, he can't work on getting his driver's license. So I'd ask that if you are inclined to revoke, you revoke and double the bond as opposed to holding him at no bond, so that he can work on getting that license for that May 8th hearing.
Let me read the affidavit. He's got failure to appears and D6 suspensions from multiple counties. He hasn't, some dating back to 2015. He's not gonna get a driver's license. And instead of getting, and then the affidavit to issue a warrant, he's telling officers that it's his sister's car. There's damage to the vehicle. He's got warrants out of other states for concealing tags. Yeah, no, we're gonna revoke the bond and set it at none. All right? Good luck. All right, ma'am, your name? All right, Ms. Mako, you're here on one count, possession of controlled substance, possession of cocaine in case 2023 CF 3897AO. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case. We'll set bond on count one. We'll stay the bond at $1,000 on count one, $250 on count two. You're also arrested pursuant to a warrant. Seminole County warrant, the warrant in the.
It's an overview.
Okay, I got you. All right, you're also, held on a violation of probation based on the arrest of your probation out of Seminole County in case number, do we know the Seminole County case number?
I just see two.
Felony probation?
I'm not sure. You might have to.
Yeah, it's felony probation, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna set the bond, at none until further order of the court, okay?
So that none?
Yeah. On the VOP. All right, sir, your name?
Marquard Miller.
All right, sir. You're here pursuant to a warrant, one count of fleeing and eluding. Probable cause determination has been previously made. Does qualify for pretrial release?
I was gonna ask for pretrial release.
All right. All right, Mr. Miller, unless there's objection by the state, do you have any objection?
No objection.
All right, we're gonna release you on what's called pretrial release. That's a non-monetary release, so you'll be released as it relates to this case without having to post a bond. But it's like being on bond. You gotta stay out of trouble. You get caught doing anything, you know, you gotta live, when you're out on bond or out on pretrial release, you gotta live a little cleaner than you would otherwise, all right? Because if you get caught doing anything, you're no longer entitled to a bond. You'll be brought here and a warrant could be issued for arrest. You can be held no bond until you see a judge, all right? So it's almost like being on probation, as far as it relates to, just keeping your nose clean, while you're out on release on this case, okay? All right. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. That's it. Any other conditions?
Any special conditions with it, Your Honor?
What's that?
Any special conditions with the PTR?
I was thinking of, I mean, I don't see any that are super appropriate or, you know, there's no alleged co-defendants or drugs, so yeah, no.
Yep.
Okay, all right, good luck. Yep. All right, your name, sir? All right, what happened to Ona Galucci? Woo. It's expensive. Your name, sir? Again?
D'Angelo Pugh.
Orozco bonded too?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, here's some money. Mhm. So Pugh's your last name, sir? Pugh?
Yes.
All right. 2023 CF 3915AO, one count carrying concealed firearm. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. appoint the officer of the public defender to represent you. Stay the bond in that case at $2,500. You're also out on bond in 2021 CF 12757 AO. Stay, what's the status of that case?
Pretrial is set for tomorrow.
All right. It's one count of possession of cannabis, one count of resisting an officer without violence. When you're out on bond and you get arrested for new laws violations, or you're no longer entitled to a bond because of the $16,000 in currency, the gun, the marijuana, and everything in the new law violation, we're gonna revoke the bond in the case you're out on bond on and set bond at none, okay? Good. Good luck to you, sir. All right.
For this new one? So then I have to go to court for the new one too?
All right, Sheffield is 2023 CF 3926 AO. You said it's behavior?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right, we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him in that case or reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do find there's probable cause as to counts 1 through 6. We'll set bond on count 5 at, we'll stay the bond at $50,000. It's what it is in the bond schedule, so.
He's,
Oh, that's right. Now, we'll stay at what it is in the bond schedule, $100,000 on count 5. We'll do $100 on counts 1 through 4 and count 6. He was also out on bond on possession of cocaine, trespass on property after warning in 2020, is that 2020?
22.
22 CF 13122 AO. Has that been filed on?
Checking right now. No, Your Honor, he was arrested in November and formal charges have not been filed.
All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna revoke the bond in that case and in 2023 CF 1672 AO. In one 3122 AO on count 1, we're gonna set bond at $1,000. Count 2, 500.
I think
And then
you
in,
guys only file on one count?
what's that? They haven't filed it on any, I don't think.
Or, I'm sorry, I thought they took
Did they take no action?
no action on one of the counts. Double check.
All right, so we'll just set
I
it
think it
on
was just
count.
one count that needs to be
Yeah.
set at.
I mean, while he's here, I'd rather him just be getting credit on everything. So 2023 CF 1672 AO, we'll revoke the bond in that case. Set bond at count 1.
1672, okay, fine, okay.
We're gonna set bond, what were the original bonds, 4 and 2?
4,000 and 2,000.
All right, we're gonna double them. We're gonna go 8,000 and 4,000.
And then on 13122, it was 1,000.
1,000 on count 1 and then nothing on count 2.
Right.
I apologize, Your Honor. On 23 CF 1672, it's 8,000 and 4,000?
Yeah,
Thank you.
his original bonds were 4,000 and 2,000, so we're just doubling them.
And then on the 22 CF, it's 1,000 and no
No, nothing on
ROR.
count, right, ROR on count 2. All right. All right, sir. Your name? Your name, sir? All right, Mr. Veal, it's a 2023 CF 392.
Your Honor, defense will waive the reading.
All right. 8924 AO. Is he entitled to, he's not entitled on count 1, right? Or is he?
Oh, he is.
Yes.
That's an F1.
All right, let me read the affidavit real quick. All right. In the meantime, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You came in on a warrant, so a probable cause determination's been previously made by the judge who signed the warrant. That's to all 3 counts. All right. We're gonna set bond on count one at $100,000. Count two will stay at $25,000. Count three will stay the bond as it came in on the warrant at $250. Also order that you have no contact with the alleged victim and that you don't return to Trotters Park or can't go within 1,000 feet of Trotters Park or Bishop Moore High School. Actually,
Your Honor, I'd also ask that he have no contact with any minors.
no contact with anyone under the age of 18. And do not go within 500 feet of any school. All right? All right. The Office of the Public Defender has been appointed to represent you. Those are your bonds with those conditions. Good luck, sir.
And what was this?
500 feet within it. Yeah, and definitely Bishop Moore and Trotters Park. Those are the scenes of the offense, so we can just write that. No return to scene of any alleged offense, and then do not go within 500 feet of any school. All right, sir, your name?
John Davis White.
All right, Mr. White, you're here on one count of possession of MDMA. Reviewed the arrest, and this is case 2023 CF 3919AO. Viewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll stay the bond at $1,000. You're also out on bond on 2022 CF 13373AO. Has that been filed on?
Yes, Your Honor, arraignment is set for April 5th.
All right. All right, I'm gonna revoke the bond in that case, set a new bond at $2,000. Order that you do not possess or consume any illegal substances. Okay? All right, sir, your name?
Jerome Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here on 2023 CF 3873AO. It's one count of robbery, one count of battery. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. You determined there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Because of the nature of the allegations and the lack of history, we'll set bond on count one at $2,500. Count two, will stay the bond at $100. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case and that you do not return to 5858 International Drive, okay? The Quality Inn, can't go back there. All right, good luck, sir.
We did it.
All right. Yeah, outside. Thank you so much. We'll be in recess until tomorrow. That's okay.
For the next available interpreter.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Maria, ID 254717. I'll be your Portuguese Cape Verdean interpreter today.
We needed
Okay?
Yeah, we needed a Creole. Do we have a,
You have Cape Verdean Creole
we just,
or Haitian Creole?
Yes, Asian Creole.
Haitian Creole?
Haitian?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll transfer you to a customer agent for Haitian Creole. Just a moment, please.
Thank you.
Do you need L5 interpreter?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, we need a,
Please hold for a Haitian Creole interpreter.
yes. Should've said we.
Hello, this is the interpreter. 204746. How can I help you today?
All right, have you been, previously sworn?
Hello?
Hello, interpreter, have you been sworn in today? Can you hear us okay, interpreter? Yeah, maybe we'll try to call back. Can we do it through our? Oh. Yes. All right,
Why we come in here? I think if I have an attorney or lawyer, I think she or he have to be represented for me, you know.
yeah, that's what we're doing today, but we just need an interpreter first,
Okay.
okay? Yeah. Okay, all right, sir, your name?
Michael Canto.
All right, Mr. Canto, you're here, one count of trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I have determined there's probable cause.
And state did convey an offer to Mr. Canto of an adjudication credit for 2 days and no return.
All right, do you have a chance to talk to him about that, Ms. George?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I don't think he was in the main cell.
Okay.
In fact, he was, yeah, I didn't speak to him. And,
All right, Mr. Canto, please, to the best of your ability, just raise your right hand to be sworn once you're done signing that.
All right.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Just handed a plea form. Do you have a chance to read and understand the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right, your name?
Michael Canto.
All right, Mr. Canto, you understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes.
All right. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen to plead, this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that if you are on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No.
All right. So in 2023, MM 2033AO will accept the no contest plea, will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. Credit for the 2 days that you've already served, you'll be released as it relates to this charge today. It's also court costs, will give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the court costs. Also order that you do not return to the Wawa at 8574 South Orange Blossom Trail, 32809, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, sticking to the move-up list, we have Terrence Smith, what's next?
All right.
Move-ups, he's currently on mental health status.
And defense, I think the state has an announcement.
State, in regards to Mr. Smith, on 2030, state was gonna announce a no bill.
All right. 0.1 grams? Okay. All right, state announces no bill on Terrence Smith. All right. Creole coming in? All right, Mr. Interpreter, can you hear us, or Madam Interpreter?
Yeah, hello. Yes, my name is Paul. I am your interpreter today.
Have you been previously sworn today?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
All right, please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Yes.
Did you hear the clerk? I'll ask. Do you swear or affirm to translate from Haitian Creole to English and from English to Haitian Creole to the best of your ability the testimony you're about to hear today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. This is case number 2023 MM1349AO. Sir, your name?
Diaz Dorsey.
Bonsoir. Ça c'est K2023 MM1 430899. Monsieur, comment il est?
Abdias Dorsey.
27 Dorsey.
All right, sir. You're here today for an in-jail arraignment. It means the state's filed charges against you.
Alors ici, là, je dis parce que il y a un État qui était accusé et puis aussi là pour disons arraignement pour prison.
The Office of the Public Defender has previously been appointed to represent you.
Il y a un officier défenseur qui était nommé pour qu'à représenter.
A representative from their office is standing right to your left.
Il y a un représentant bureau qui sous bord gauche.
You're here on 2 counts. 1 count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance.
Do you mind repeating for the interpreter, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 1 count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance.
Thank you. À part de structure, et même ou même transfert pour une propriété, c'est peut-être il y a compte pour ça.
And 1 count of resisting an officer without violence.
Et puis en l'autre cas, qui a été résisté un officier sans violence.
Both of those are first-degree misdemeanors.
Et tous les deux, ça c'est premier degré crime.
All right, counsel, what are we doing with those?
OK, comme si ça ne peut pas faire avec ça, yo.
We're going to enter a plea of not guilty. There is no offer today, Your Honor.
Nous pas plaidoyer pas coupable et puis pas guère aucun plaint, honneur.
All right, we'll accept the not guilty plea. This will be set for a pretrial conference.
Pretrial conference date,
Pour plaider pas coupable, c'est pour une conférence du tribunal là.
pretrial conference date will be April 13th at 8:45 in Division 84.
For the interpreter, do you mind please repeating? I'm not able to hear. I apologize.
Pretrial conference date will be in Division 84, April 13th at 8:45, courtroom 4B.
Alors, nous-mêmes, nous allons le faire, nous allons gagner pré-tribunal là, qui va le faire le 13 avril à 8h45, notre salle tribunal 4B.
All right, so that's your next court date, okay?
C'est la prochaine date pour le tribunal là, OK?
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Bonne chance, monsieur. All right?
I think I have to speak to the judge. If I've been arrested, I know I was on people's property. And then when they bring me here, there's a police who has hit me in the wall. That is a crime. No, you can't just arrested me. What they have to say, they don't report it to the judge. That is a federal government crime, And then trespassers, when I was in Fort Lauderdale, everybody know I have discrimination. I'm sex abuse, I'm bullying, all kind of abuses. And then when the judge was arresting me, every time I always have 3 days.
Un petit moment.
3 days jail, and they put me out. Sometimes
That's
they
okay.
put me in the mental health.
Listen, you got a court, your attorney's going to be in contact with you between now and your next court date. That's all we're doing today, okay?
I understand that, but you have
Alors, même un avocat qui prend en contact avec vous, même déjà et puis
No.
en pré-tribunal. Non, ça va.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Au revoir. Thank you for your services. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Move up next, what's next was Judith,
Yes.
mental health status.
All right, this is 2023 MM150AW. Office of the Public Defender has been previously appointed. It's going to be a not guilty plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial conference.
Pretrial conference date will be in Division 82, April 27th at 8:30, courtroom 9B.
All right. All right, next is 2023 MM2029AO. Sir, your name?
Corey Trammell.
All right, Mr. Trammell, you're here, one count of battery. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Have you reviewed the arrest affidavit? I do find there is probable cause. Set bond on your case, $250. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. I mean, this happened in the jail. Is there any other conditions the state's requesting other than no contact?
No, Judge.
All right, so that's gonna be it as far as conditions. You just can't have contact with the alleged victim in this case, okay?
So no court date yet?
No.
Oh.
They haven't filed charge. It's just your first appearance on this.
All right.
All right, good luck. Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Just Robert Neely.
All right, Mr. Healy, this is case 2022 CF 145111AO. It's a warrant for failure to report address change. Set bond in your case at $250, condition that you comply with all reporting requirements within 48 hours of your release, okay?
Can I ask you something, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you too, if I didn't already do that. All right. Good luck, sir. Yeah, she was looking for him. All right. 20, sir, your name?
Juan Antonetti.
All right, Mr. Antonetti, this is 2023 CT 452AW. You're here for an in-jail arraignment on one count of driving while expired driver's license. It's expired more than 6 months. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. State, was there an offer to resolve this case?
No, Your Honor, he's currently on probation.
All right. So I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Representative from their office staying right to your left, so it's gonna be a not guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna get your court date downtown, okay? All right.
This case to be heard in Division 80. Pretrial conference date will be April 6th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 9C.
All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, your name?
Donald Ayers.
All right, Mr. Ayers, this is 2023 MM1680AO, one count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. The Office of the Public Defender was previously appointed to represent you. What do yeah.
State did convey an offer to Mr. Ayers of an adjudication, credit, no return to the 7-Eleven at 2609 Delaney Avenue in Orlando, Florida, and cost investigation to OPD in the amount of $166.31.
And he would like to accept the state's offer.
All right. What was the address of the 7-Eleven?
2609 Delaney Avenue.
All right, Mr. Ayers, you heard everything that was said here today. Is my understanding you want to accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. It's handed a plea form. You signed the bottom of the plea form. Do you have a chance to read and understand the plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have a chance to ask the attorney, your attorney, any questions about the plea form?
No.
Did you have the opportunity to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. You understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes.
All right. You understand that if you are on probation for a separate offense, a plea of this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
Yes.
Are you? Let me ask you.
Oh, am I? No.
Yeah. All right.
No. I'm sorry.
So you are able to understand everything that's happening?
Yes,
here
sir.
today? All right. All right, well, accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 18 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 18 that you've already served. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also assess court costs plus cost of investigation of $166.31 payable to the Orlando Police Department. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations. Also, as a condition of your sentence order, that you do not return to the 7-Eleven at 2609 Delaney Ave in Orlando, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, your name, sir?
Kyle Charles.
All right, where's Barclay and Dunkley?
Okay, I didn't know they made your list because they were already released.
Okay.
Barclay has been released.
All right, she bonded or just was released? I don't know. She's not here. Yeah.
Temporary release.
All right, all right.
And y'all, what was the other name?
Dunkley, James Edward Dunkley.
I'm sorry, sir, that name.
He's further down on the list.
He's down, farther down on our list.
Okay, so we'll just set him aside for now. He's right. Kyle Charles is there right now. All right, 2023 MM1917AO. It's one count of resisting an officer without violence. Office of the Public Defender has been previously appointed.
He's farther down on my list.
And this is Mr. Charles?
Yes.
State did convey an offer of an adjudication, credit, no return to the intersection of Rosalind and Wall Street, and cost investigation to OPD in the amount of $362.85.
All right.
We're gonna enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Going to enter a plea of not guilty. Next court date will be downtown.
In Division 84, pretrial conference date will be April 13th at 8:45 in courtroom 4B.
All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, so your name? This is 2023 MM 1157AO. It's one count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance, one count of petty theft. Count one's a first-degree misdemeanor, count two's a second-degree misdemeanor. The Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed to represent you. What are we doing with this one?
Entering a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll enter a plea of not guilty. Your next court date?
Will be in Division 61. Pretrial conference date will be April 14th at 9:30 in courtroom 7C.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
What is that?
All right, sir, your name?
Ray Delian.
All right, Mr. Delian, this is 2023 MM 1243AO. You're set for an in-jail arraignment today. It's one count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. The Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed to represent you. What are we doing with this one?
We're gonna enter a plea of not guilty. There's competency issues, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna enter a plea of not guilty. You're gonna get a court date downtown, okay?
I can't, there's no time served? Time served?
Pretrial conference date will be April 13th at 8:45 in Division 84, courtroom 4B.
All right, good luck to you, sir. All right,
Your Honor, next on the arraignment list was Dupton Judith. She's currently on mental health status.
we already did her.
We just did. Yeah, that's the one you
She was on
said.
the move up.
Yeah, shoot, that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. Rather do one twice than skip one, so, yeah. All right, so this is Mr. Johnson?
No,
Oh.
we're Dupton now.
We're at Dunkley, okay. All right, sir, your name?
James Thompson.
All right, Mr. Dunkley, you're here on 2023 MM 196AW. It's an in-jail arraignment. One count of resisting an officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. The Office of the Public Defender was previously appointed to represent you. What are we doing with this one?
We're gonna, the state's made an offer of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs. Mr. Dunkley would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest. The attorney said it's-
All right, Mr. Dunkley, I'm being handed a plea form. Did you sign the plea form? You signed the plea form? Did you have a chance to read and understand the plea form?
No,
Did you have a chance to read and understand the plea form?
I just signed it and they took it to you.
All right, I'll go over some of it with you, okay?
over it in the back.
All right, top of the plea form talks about the constitutional rights you have associated with being charged with a criminal offense, okay? Like the right to go to trial, you understand that?
Right.
You understand you have the right to go to trial?
Yes,
You understand you have the right to call your own witnesses?
yes,
You understand you have the right to confront the state's evidence?
yes,
You understand you have the right to have the state prove the charges against you to a jury beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt?
yes,
And you understand that by resolving your case here today, that you're waiving those rights?
yes,
Okay. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
no,
All right. Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
no,
You understand that if you were on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
yes,
All right. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
yes.
All right. All right. That being said, do you have any more questions before the court accepts your plea of no contest?
No.
All right. So the court will accept the no contest plea, will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 37 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 37 days that you've already served. So you'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also, have to assess the mandatory court costs. It's about $351. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations, okay? All right. If for whatever reason, after a year, there's still a balance on the financial obligations, you just show up to any clerk's office and get on a payment plan making regular payments. If for whatever reason, there's still a balance and you're not on a payment plan making regular payments, they're just gonna suspend your driver's license till you do one of those two things, okay?
Okay,
All right, good luck to you, sir.
thank you.
Mhm. All right, sir, your name?
Marcellus Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2023 MM 278AO. It's one count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. And it's also a VOP on 2022 CF 14152AO, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right,
We're gonna enter a denial, Your Honor.
so we're just here on the VOP?
That's what I have, Your Honor.
That's what I have as well.
He was on probation in the felony though, right? No one's getting put on probation for a trespass, I hope, but he was?
He's on for the misdemeanor.
He was on probation for a trespass?
Yeah. That's what I have.
All right. All right, yep, so we'll accept the denial, you'll get set for a VOP status.
That's the right one. This is Marcellus Johnson.
Yeah,
Division 61. That would be April 13th at 9 a.m.
April 13th at 9 a.m., that's gonna be downtown, okay?
Before they resolve it, before there's no offer today.
What division was that?
That was Division 61.
All right, sir, your name?
Zachary Merritt.
All right, Mr. Merritt. This is case 2023 MM 1916AO. It's one count of resisting an officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed to represent you. What are we doing with this one?
State did commit an offer of an adjudication and credit.
Oh, I don't know. And he would like to accept an answer plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. All right, Mr. Merritt, it's handed a plea form. Did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
Did you have the opportunity to read and understand the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right, you understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial, and you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right, we'll accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 40 days in the Orange County Jail. With credit for 40 days that you've already served, you'll be released as it relates to this charge today, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, next on the docket was Nadine Mincy.
Yep.
She's currently on mental health status.
All right, 2023 MM 1669AO. She was set for an in-jail arraignment today. The Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed. It's going to be a not guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll just get her a pretrial date.
Case to be heard in Division 84, and that will be April 13th at 8:45.
All right. All right, sir, your name?
Larry Lee Odom Jr.?
Odoms, you said?
Yes.
All right, 2023 MM 1065AO. You're here for an arraignment today. It's one count of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed to represent you.
And state did commit an offer to Mr. Odoms of an adjudication, credit, no return to the 55 West Apartments located at 55 West Church Street, and cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $87.12.
And Mr. Odom would like to accept an answer plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right, I've handed a plea form, Mr. Odoms. Did you sign the plea form?
Yeah, son.
All right. You understand that by resolving your case here today that you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
Yes.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
You understand that?
Yep.
All right. Some of these things may not apply to you. I just have to ask that if you understand, okay? Do you understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, that a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation? Do you understand that? All right, you do? Okay. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today? What's that?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 41 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 41 days that you've already served. Assess mandatory court costs plus cost of investigation of $87.12 to the Orlando Police Department. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations. Financial obligations aren't taken care of within a year of your release, or you're not on a payment plan making regular payments, there's gonna be suspension on your driver's license. Also, as a condition of your sentence, order that you do not return to the 55 West Apartments located at 55 West Church Street, Orlando, Florida. Okay? All right, good luck, sir. All right, sir, your name?
Ronald Reese.
All right, Mr. Reese, this is 2023 MM1295AO. It's one count of petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. PD has not yet been previously appointed. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
I believe I think we are appointed, Your Honor.
Okay, well, it's just not on here. If they are, great. If they're not, we'll appoint them, okay?
We're gonna enter a plea of not guilty, competency issues.
All right, order of plea of not guilty. Next court date will be,
We heard in Division 82. Pretrial conference date will be April 27th at 8:30 in courtroom 9B.
all right. All right, sir, your name?
Michael Roberts.
All right, this is 2023 MM1294AO. Set for an in-jail arraignment today. Is the state filed on this? How is it set for arraignment? I just have the arrest affidavit. I don't see a notice to appear or,
Yes, Your Honor, it hasn't been filed on yet. There is
Hasn't?
one.
okay,
I think it was, I guess, added inadvertently.
all right. So the state has not filed charges yet, so there's nothing to enter a plea to, even if we wanted to. There's no offer. The state hasn't filed charges. Doesn't mean they will file charges, don't mean they won't file charges, just means they haven't filed charges yet, okay? All right, the Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed to represent you. How long's he been in? I mean, it's 33 days.
And since he got here on the 9th.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm not gonna set it for anything. I'm gonna refer it to the state for a filing decision.
They can't.
And then, yeah, we're just not gonna set it for anything. Just, let's say we'll refer to the state for a filing decision. All right, so we're just gonna give it back to the state of Florida to make a decision whether or not to file charges, okay? You still, yeah, he has a bond, right?
Yes, he's here on several other cases.
Okay, so this is just the one, possession of fewer identities. So we're just gonna take no action other than the refer to the state. All right? Good luck, sir.
Whatever bonds are already set on the other ones is stayed. So I'm here for the fraud. Mhm.
All right. All right, sir, your name? Your name?
Ryan Dolsky, sir.
All right, Mr. Dolsky, you're here on 2 counts, 1 count resisting an officer without violence, 1 count of petty theft.
The state did not convey an offer due to it being enhanceable.
Yeah. All right. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable causes to each count, set bond on count 1 at $250, count 2 at $100. Also that you do not return to the racetrack where this was alleged to have occurred, okay? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. All right, good luck. All right, sir, your name?
Jeremiah Frederick.
All right, Mr. Frederick, you're here on 3 counts. 1 count's trespass on property after warning, 1 count assault on a law enforcement officer, One count of resisting an officer without violence. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do find there's probable causes to each count. I'll set bond on count one. I'll just stay the bonds as they are, as they came in. Stay on count one at $200, count two, $1,000, count three, $200. Also that you do not return to First Presbyterian Church in Orlando, okay? All right, good luck.
Can I get a quick and speedy trial?
You have the constitutional right to that. You have an attorney appointed to represent you. We're not doing your trial today. You want to talk to your attorney about that.
And what day is the court date?
You don't have one yet.
Yeah.
All right. It's one count of trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent her.
There's an offer to resolve her case.
You want to reset it to?
Can we reset it for tomorrow, Your Honor, see if she can come?
Okay, we can reset it till tomorrow. All right, next I had was Molero Hernandez, she bond.
My apologies, she's not on our docket.
She was with the, I was surprised when I didn't see her with the two Spanish. She was arrested with them.
Do you have the booking number?
Where's it at? Oh, I see it. 23007642.
They cash bonded.
All right, so she bonded. Thank you. All right, sir, your name?
Joshua
Last name?
Perry.
All right, Mr. Perry, you're here on one count of battery. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. Stay the bond in that case at $500. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in that case.
And these two bond.
And DCF was also contacted.
All right, DCF was contacted, so as a condition of your bond, you also have to comply with any conditions that DCF imposes if they impose any. They may or may not, but if they do, as a condition of your bond, you gotta comply with those conditions. You're also out on bond on 2021 CF 16242BO. State have a position on that one?
1 second, Your Honor.
It's a grand theft and possession of cannabis.
No, Your Honor, state will leave it within your discretion.
All right, I'm gonna take no action on the case you're out on bond on. The only action I'm gonna take is just admonish you a little bit, Mr. Perry, that when you're out on bond, you can't be, you gotta steer clear of that kind of trouble, because a different judge sitting up here would be well within his or her right to revoke your bond. You'd be held no bond on that case you're out on bond on, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. But we're not gonna do that today. I just want you to be real careful that next time you get brought in here, you know, you may be held no bond till you can see a judge, so, all right? All right, good luck. All right, sir, your name?
Good morning.
Your name?
Peter Roberts.
All right, Mr. Roberts, you're here. It's 2023 MM2037AO, one count on trespass of property after warning. Viewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause.
And the state did convey an offer to Mr. Roberts of an adjudication credit for 2 and no return to the Arena Food Store.
All right. And while we're doing that, you were also out on bond on 2022 CF 15066AO. Court's gonna take no action on that case you're out on bond on, okay?
Gonna do what?
Taking no action on the case you're out on bond on, but you gotta understand that If a different judge was sitting up here, they'd be well within his or her right to revoke your bond and hold you no bond on the case you're out on bond on. We're not doing that today, taking no action, but
Thank you.
when you're out on bond, you gotta,
You gotta remember, yeah.
you gotta stay out of trouble, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's handed a plea form. Did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
All right, you understand that by resolving your case here today, you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form, and there's not gonna be a trial?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that, if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir, Your Honor.
All right. You understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right. So to the trespass charge, we'll accept the no contest plea, we'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. Credit for 2 days that you already served, you'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Also have to assess court costs. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release to pay the court costs or be on a payment plan making regular payments, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Also, as a condition of your sentence, order you do not return to the Arena Food Store at 635 North Westmoreland, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Your name?
Juan Jacob Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're here on 2 counts, trespass and a conveyance, trespass on property after warning. Reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause as to each count. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Set bond on count 1 at $2,000, count 2 at $500. There's no offer, right, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Also order that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case, and that you do not return to 6127 McDonald Street, where this was alleged to have occurred. Can't go within 1,000 feet of that address, okay?
Your Honor, just for the record, I think it's 5127.
It's 6127. Hold on.
I have it as 61 and 51, but on the witness or the victim page, it has it as 51 again.
I have a couple of things I would like to say openly.
Here's the thing, before you say anything,
It's all recorded, yeah.
it's all recorded.
Yes, sir.
Today, we're not getting into the facts of what happened. You probably shouldn't talk about the facts of what happened.
That's fine. I'm just saying the person that is the witness to the statement, I had tried to press charge on her beforehand for threatening me with a machete and my mother.
Yeah,
I gave you guys proof on
Doing
that.
all that today. We're just here on what the cops wrote down on this piece of paper. It's all we're doing here today. You have an attorney appointed to represent you. There may be a time and a place to say all that stuff that you want to say. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not important to what's going on today, okay? You have a bond and you have conditions of your bond, okay? Those conditions are those that we just talked about. No
Kind of
contact, no return.
expensive.
All right? All right, good luck. And it's 5127. Just to be safe, we'll do 6127 too. Can't go to either one of those. Oh, I'm sorry. That almost fell off.
That's okay.
All right. All right, sir, your name?
Darius Washington, sir.
All right, Mr. Washington, you're here on 1 count of battery and 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Set bond on count 1 at $500, count 2 at $100. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim or the other female listed in the arrest affidavit. All right?
Sir.
All right, good luck.
Your Honor, as we go on to city and county, Professor Adams, Jamar bonded.
All right. I have a feeling a lot of these bonded.
After Adams is Flores,
Yep.
Ashley, bonded.
Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Walter Latimer Jr.
All right, Mr. Latimer, you're here on 1 count of disorderly conduct, violation of city ordinance 43.06, reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. Is there an offer to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor, stated conveyed an adjudication and credit for 2.
And Your Honor, the other case number for me.
411.
Yeah, MO 411AO.
And Mr. Latimer would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right. All right, Mr. Latimer has handed a plea form. Did you sign the bottom of the plea form?
I did, sir.
All right. You understand that by resolving your case here today, there's not going to be a trial and you're waiving the constitutional rights that are listed at the top of the plea form?
I do.
All right. You understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea of this offense will subject you to deportation?
I do.
Do you understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
I do.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right. Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
All right. We'll accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty. Order or sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days that you already served. Also have to assess mandatory court costs. It'll be about $301. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of that. If you don't take care of it within a year, you're not on a payment plan making regular payments, they're just gonna suspend your driver's license, all right? All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Your Honor, next on the docket was Amir Lewis.
Yep.
He bonded.
All right. Did I give you both of those?
Just have a link.
I had Latimer. I don't know if I had an F.
It's in-
Were they together?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's
All
what
right.
that was.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Sir, your name?
Mario Ravello.
All right. All right, Mr. Ravello, you're here on 1 count of disorderly conduct. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do not find there to be probable cause. State you want 20, the ordinance, as it's copy and pasted in the affidavit, says that
Not
approaching vehicles in obedience to a traffic control light, stop sign, or any other traffic control device, the allegations are that he approached vehicles in the intersection. There's no allegations they were in obedience to any traffic control device. So, do you want 24 hours or you want an ROR?
State we just asked for an ROR.
All right, so you're gonna be released as it you're gonna be released as it relates to this charge today that found no probable cause, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Kind of after Nicole had Tyree Sanders
Mm-hmm.
bonded.
I'll just name like that. All right. Okay. All right, sir, your name?
Dion Gregory.
All right, Mr. Gregory. Here on 1 count of drum while license suspended, revocation or equivalent status. There's also a violation of probation out of Swanee County. Set bond on I've reviewed the arrest affidavit for the driving while license suspended stay the bond in that case at $500. It's a condition of your bond order that you do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. As it relates to the violations of probation, there were 2, right? 2 cases?
I have.
Or just 1 VOP?
One VOP did.
All right, there's 2. Okay. With regard to the violation of probation, we're gonna set bond at none in that case, okay? All right, good luck. If I didn't already, I'll point the Office of the Public Defender to represent you too, okay? Yep. All right. Yep. Yep. Good job, everyone. All right, sir, your name?
Cortez Barnes.
Trespass on a construction site,
All right, give me 1 second, Mr.
not
Barnes.
burglary. There's no, that's what I was about to say. I'm sure judges already see it. Also probably thinking. And Your Honor, on Mr. Barnes?
Yeah.
I'm sure you hear me in defense kind of whispering back and forth. In regards to count one, I don't believe either of us believes there's PC for the burg unoccupied structure.
Right.
State would ask for PC for trespass on a construction site. As there was signage and a fence.
Right, I agree with that.
And I'll get a statute for Madam Clerk.
All right, Mr. Barnes, you're here on 2 counts. One, as it came in, it was burglary to an unoccupied structure, and then 1 count of possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. As it relates to count 1, burglary of an unoccupied structure, the state, defense, and the court agrees there's not probable cause to support that charge. At best, there's probable cause to support trespass. State's looking for a statute. I am gonna find probable causes to trespass. I'm gonna set bond on count 1 at $500 and count 2 at $100 in order that you do not return to that construction site where this was alleged to have occurred, okay?
And Your Honor, it'll be trespass on a designated construction site, which is F3.
Yeah.
And the statute is 810.09, sub 2, sub D, as in David.
All right. All right, so you have bonds with those conditions. If you bond out, you can't go back to that construction site, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
I was trespass on construction. site.
Designated construction site.
Thank you.
You saw the document with Sarah Bignet?
Uh-huh.
She's currently on.
Okay.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right, well, appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent Ms. Bignet. Count 1, 2, and 3, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting officer without violence. Count 3, resisting officer without violence. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. She was also. Is that just a warrant? It wasn't a VOP, or was it?
It was a warrant.
It was just a warrant. Okay. There's also a warrant for possession of MDMA. Bond on the warrant was $1,000. We'll stay that, and then in this case, we'll stay the bonds in this case. Count 1, $2,500. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $100.
Your
Then
Honor,
she had a
there's
third-
one more.
Huh?
She has
Just one more?
case. The camping.
I didn't even see the key. All right. There's also 2023 MO 417 AO. Count of camping. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Due to find there's probable cause to set bond in that case at $100. Thank you. All right, sir, your name?
Rick Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here. Couple cases, like first case is 2022 CF 4849 AO. That's a failure to appear on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Judge assigned that warrant, set bond at none. We're gonna stay the bond at none. There's also 1 count of resisting officer without violence. That's, or with violence. That's 2023 CF 3847 AO. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'm gonna set bond in that case at $500, okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir. Now, I'll appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent you in each case. All right, sir. You got an attorney appointed to represent you. You can call them, okay? All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Cheney. You're here on 1 count of possession of cocaine, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. do determine there is probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent you. We'll set the bond on count one at $500, count two at $100. Also order that you That's it. You're also out on bond, possession of weapon and ammo by a convicted felon in case 2023 CF 1583AO. State have a position on that?
Your Honor, it is filed on, and given that it is a firearm offense, the state would ask that you revoke.
All right.
And Your Honor, given that they are unrelated offenses, he picked up a nonviolent offense. I would ask that if you are inclined to revoke, you consider revoking and doubling as opposed to holding him at no bond.
All right. All right, Mr. Cheney. Because of the charge you were out on bond on, I am gonna revoke the bond. So, but the question is, you're gonna get a new bond, or am you gonna hold it at none? I am gonna give you a new bond just because the new offenses are not related to weapons or anything like that. They're drug related. That is what it is. But when you're out on bond, you can't get in trouble because you're not entitled to a bond. I'm gonna set bond in 2023 CF 1583AO at $10,000 in order that you do not possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition as a condition of that bond. All right? Good luck to you, sir.
He refused his appearance.
Oh, he was, he was from this morning?
Oh, he was
Yeah.
from this morning.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar.
We haven't done them.
Yeah, all right,
They- they
2021
moved them to
CF 15337AO, it was a VOP warrant. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Dean. We'll stay the bond at none. All right, sir, your name?
Gomez Delavo.
All right, Mr. Delavo, you're here on two counts. One count burglary of an occupied structure. One count grand theft third degree. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause as to each count. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. We'll set bond on count one at $2,500. Count two, I'll stay the bond at $150. Order that you do not return to the target where this was alleged to have occurred. You're also out on bond on 2023 CF 2680AO, which was a petty theft with two or more priors. 2023 CF 2106AO, which is another petty theft, resisting without violence, possession of drug paraphernalia. And 2022 CF 7708AO, which is a grand theft. And 2023 CF 2679AO, which is a petty theft with two or more prior convictions. In each of those cases, I'm gonna revoke the bond, set bond at none until further order of the court, okay? Good luck, sir. All right. All right, sir, your name?
Quintavious Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz. You're here on two cases. First case is 2023 CF 3866AO. One count of possession of MDMA. One count of possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver. One count of resisting officer without violence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I find probable causes to counts 1 and 3. Is there an argument as to count 2? I'm on the fence about it.
Your Honor, state doesn't see the sell and deliver. State would just ask for possession of cannabis.
Yeah.
Under 20, I believe he had 12 grams. All he had was 3 separate plastic bags. He didn't have any other indicia of sale.
Right.
State would ask for the M1 possession under 20.
Right. I will find probable cause of simple possession. I mean, there's also a question. I mean, it survives probable cause whether he even possessed it. But They found it in a bush near where he was standing, and in that part of town, who knows? But anyway, so we'll just find probable cause as a simple possession of cannabis, not with intent to sell and deliver, but I'm gonna set bond on count one at $5,000, count two, set bond at $250, count three, $250. And then with regards to the open container in 2023 MO 418AO, review the arrest affidavit. There's no indication that there was anything in the can, just that it was a Miller High Life can. So I'm gonna find no, unless, I mean, state, take a second, but I'm inclined to find no probable cause. Usually in these affidavits, they say they poured it out and there was something in there, but this time it just says, yeah, cool to the touch, all that. It just says there was a Miller High Life can found near him when they arrested him, so.
The state has no objection.
All right, so we're gonna ROR you, release you on your own recognizance on the open container, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yep, good luck.
Madam Clerk, the cannabis for count two. 1 second. Possession of cannabis under 20, it'll be 893.13, sub 6, sub B as in boy.
Sorry, could you repeat?
893. Did you get it?
1-3 subsection 6, subsection B.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, your name?
Angelica Ampuño.
All right, Ms. Impuno, you're here on one count of possession of MDMA. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Sub bond of this case. I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000, okay? All right, good luck. All right, sir, your name?
DeQuest Farrell.
All right, Mr. Farrell, you're here on 2023 CF 3861AO. One count of possession of firearm by a convicted delinquent, one count of possession of oxycodone, one count of possession of tetrahydrocannabinol, whatever the word is. THC. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause as to each count. Based on prior history as it relates to possessing firearms. I'm gonna set bond on count one at $10,000, count two at $500, count three at $500. As a condition of your bond, I'm ordered that you do not possess any firearms or ammunition. That'll be it. All right. If I didn't already, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, okay? All right. Good luck. Mm-hmm.
He refuses appearance.
All right.
And defense will waive the appearance. Sure.
So appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Frith. We reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do find there's probable cause as to count one and count two. We'll set bond at count one at $2,500, count two at $500.
So that's for no contact with the victim.
Yeah, no contact and no return to that apartment. Well, that garage, wherever it was. 315 West Concord Street. All right, ma'am, your name?
Yolanda Fulton Smith.
All right, Ms. Smith, you're here on 3 counts. 2023 CF 3875AO. Count 1's armed burglary of a structure with a firearm. Count 2, open and carry of weapons or firearms. Count 3 is a phrase.
And Your Honor, count 1 is a F1, that is PBL.
You're right.
State would ask that you hold a no bond pending an Arthur hearing downtown. State is concerned regarding her history. It seems to be all other firearm-related history.
Yeah, let me take a look at that.
Violent-related history.
All right, so what the state said, Ms. Smith, is because of what you're charged with, it's a punishable by life felony, so you're not entitled to a bond under the laws of the state of Florida, okay? You, doesn't say you won't get a bond, it's just you gotta have what's called an Arthur hearing, that's the name of the case. It doesn't necessarily happen out here at the jail. Just everyone needs more time to prepare, get all your ducks in a row. So, based on the state's request, based on your history, I am gonna stay the bond at none. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. So you do have an attorney. As a condition of your bond too, I'm gonna order that you do not possess any firearms, weapons, or ammunition, and that you do not return to the McDonald's at 8223 Vineland Avenue. Okay? All right, good luck to you, ma'am. Oh, counts 2 and 3. We'll set bonds at it's 2 and 3 at 200 each.
And Your Honor, state would also ask for no contact with the victim.
Okay. Also order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. Benny. Mm-hmm. All right, Hurst bonded. All right, ma'am, your name?
Denise Joseph.
All right, Ms. Joseph, you're here. One count, or it's 2023 CF 3867AO, one count possession of MDMA, one count of possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine the probable cause. I'll stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000, stay the bond on count 2 at 100.
How long do they have to?
All we're doing today is setting bonds and conditions of your release. You have bonds, so if you can post a bond, you also have an attorney appointed to represent you.
I have a hold in Marion County, so I just wanted to know how would that work?
They'll bring you back. They'll talk to you about that in here.
I already explained that if she posts the bond, Your Honor, then she can be transported to Marion.
Right, if you post the bond, they'll transport you to Marion. Until then, yeah, you're gonna be held here, okay? So if you don't post the bond, you'll be held here. Unless somebody does something else, then they really want you up there or something, okay?
Okay, so I should just post the bond.
It's up to you. If you wanna go to Marion, take care of that. If you post the bond, that's where they'll take you.
So am I able to handle that here? Like,
No.
not having to go to Marion?
Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Martin.
All right, Mr. Martin, you're here. Case 2023 CF 3853AO. It's 3 counts, 1 count fleeing and eluding, 1 count grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, 1 count resisting an officer without violence. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. We'll set bond at count 1 at,
Your Honor, he does qualify for.
oh, he does. I see that now.
He doesn't have any, looks like convictions on his record, so I would ask for pretrial release in this case.
All right. All right, you do qualify for what's called pretrial release. That means you'll be released as it relates to this case without having to post a bond. But it's like being out on bond. If you get in trouble for anything else, your pretrial release can get revoked and you can be held no bond, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any special conditions for pretrial release, state? Requests?
No, Your Honor.
All right. just standard conditions, so, they'll instruct you on how to do pretrial release, okay? All right, sir, your name?
Devon Jerome McCree.
All right, Mr. McCree, you're here on one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, possession of firearm and ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams with a weapon, and resisting an officer without violence.
Your Honor, defense would argue no PC as to the convicted felon. Officer just states that he's a known Florida gang member, 3-time convicted felon. There's no case number mentioned. Defense would argue no PC as to the convicted felon portion.
State has no argument, Your Honor, would just ask for a 24-hour reset to establish that he is a convicted felon.
All right, I got no problem resetting it. All right. So as to counts, we'll just reset everything. We'll reset this within 24 hours for the state to determine probable cause, okay?
Your Honor, do you mind staying the bonds in the meantime in case he wants to bond?
He is old anyway.
He still has the, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Well, I can do this. I don't know, I'm here all week, we'll do it, we'll do it later. But I'm just like, yeah, I mean, he's out on bond on a violent felony. Has that been filed on?
I would assume not, but
Right.
just due to its age.
I don't know yet. Let's see.
If it's not, he just picked it up the 6th this month.
All right, yeah, we'll reset it for 24 hours and we'll bring you back then, okay? Yep. Reset it. All right, sir, your name?
Neil.
All right, Mr. Neal. You're here in 2023 CF 3841AO. It's one count of burglary of a conveyance, one count of criminal mischief, less than $1,000, one count of credit card theft, taking or receiving, one count of petty theft. Viewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable causes to each count. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Set bond on count 1 at $2,500. Count 2, $500. Count 3, $500, and stay the bond at count 4 and $250. Also order that you do not return to 125 East Pine Street, and that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
Pereira, Nelson,
Mm-hmm,
bonded.
all right.
Rivera, Rosado, Ray,
Mm-hmm,
bonded.
all right. All right, sir, your name?
Robert Scott. Robert Scott.
All right, we got good microphones in here. All right, Mr. Scott, you're here 2023 CF 3844AO. It's 5 counts. One count of burglary of an unoccupied structure, one count grand theft 3rd degree, one count criminal mischief, one count resisting an officer without violence, and one count of resisting or trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause as to each count. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll stay the bonds on counts 1 through 5, $3,500 on count 1, $150 count 2, $100 on counts 3, 4, and 5. Order that you do not return to 6700 Silver Star Road, and you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, okay? All right, sir. Good luck. All right, sir, your name?
My name is Keith Terry, sir.
All right, Mr. Terry. You're here on one count of possession of MDMA. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll stay the bond in that case at $1,000. It's also out on bond on account of possession of MDMA in 2023 CF 355 AO and 2022 CF 148 AO was a possession of cocaine. Have either of those been filed on state?
Let's see. The 3555 has not. He was just arrested on that 8 days ago. The 22 CF 14801 has not yet been either.
All right. Well, the officer did write in, let me start with this. You know, when you're out on bond and you pick up new charges, you're not entitled to a bond anymore. You know that, right? So, could be held no bond on both cases you're out on bond on. And to be honest, I'm still thinking about what I want to do.
Your Honor, as to case number 2022 CF 14801AO, that was back in December 23rd, and no information has been filed to date. As to his newer charge, that was 8 days ago, I would ask that you take no action. However, if you are inclined to take action, that you, I believe he was ROR'd, that you set a bond on that case, Your Honor, as opposed to holding him in no bond.
Yeah, because they haven't been filed on, I'm gonna revoke the bonds on both, but I'm gonna set bonds on, in 2022 CF 1480AO. I'm gonna set bond at $2,500. And then in 2023 CF 3555AO, I'm gonna set bond at $7,500. Special conditions of bond in each case is that you do not possess any illegal drugs. I set the bond on the new law, right? I state it? Okay,
Yes,
just making
Your
sure. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Assuming he doubled it. No, he revoked. Yeah.
Thomas, Taekwon Thomas?
He revoked.
Gonna have Kenneth Torres.
Because you were supposed to violate the law.
All right.
No.
Valadrez. Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's what I was looking at. Sorry.
She was here.
Just do both.
Oh, okay. In defense of waiver, Your Honor, I believe.
All right, we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. This is 2022 CF 2979AO. It's a warrant for failure to appear in that case. The bond in that warrant is set at none. We're gonna stay the bond at none.
Tuesday West bonded.
All right. All right, this is Carrie Williams. All right, ma'am, your name?
K.R.E. Williams.
How you spell that?
K-A-R-R-I.
All right. All right, Ms. Williams, you're here in case 2023 CF 3848AO. It's one count of burglary of a structure, one count of petty theft. Court has a question, is this a structure? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Apparently, it's roommates, the allegations, roommates. She goes into the other roommate's room, reaches in her purse, takes out $5, and then leaves the room. So is if I have a roommate and I go in their room, have I burglarized a structure? Because it's not. I looked up the definition of structure. It's more of like,
It's about, it
case law says that a carport is not a structure because it doesn't have walls.
has to be attached and have walls.
Right,
And a roof, generally.
right. So if a carport isn't a structure, I don't know if a room inside the same house is a structure. It's an interesting, yeah, it's kind of, because a room has walls.
Your state would argue that it is, given that the room itself has walls, has a door and a roof. And Ms. Williams did not have permission to enter said structure, said room. So our state would argue that it's enough for PC at this time, given that PC is an incredibly low standard. Whether it charges that later, I'm not
Right.
sure. But
Okay, I'm convinced. All right. Now that I've said it out loud, a room does have walls and a roof, so.
I would, defense's only request is that considering they were roommates, that you consider reducing the bond.
Well, she
based on-
qualifies for PTR, right?
She doesn't, Your Honor. That was done in error. She has a pending active warrant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got no problem reducing it. It's kind of, it would make for a good law school essay. You'd probably work in like a boarding house analogy, all this different stuff. But anyway, I do find probable causes to counts 1 and 2. I'll set bond on count 1 at $1,500. Stay the bond on count 2 at $100. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. Their roommates.
and DCF was also contacted, so they would, arguably it could have came in as like a DV. So they
Right.
would just ask for separate residence one time.
All right, we're gonna order that you, as a condition of your release, order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that the two of you maintain separate residences. If you need to go back to the apartment one time to get personal belongings, you can do that. You just need to do it with the presence of law enforcement. And then you gotta live somewhere else, okay? As a condition of your release too, since DCF was called, as a condition of your bond, you're going to have to comply with any and all conditions imposed by DCF if they impose any, okay? All right, good luck to you, ma'am. Oh, yeah, sorry. I think so. I did good this time, yeah. Well, better. I won't say I did good.
And we did have that 133-day motion.
Yes, this was Jason Lazu, 2023 CF 2158 AO.
Yes, and it should be denied. State did file an information.
All right. All right. And we will be in recess until tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Ms. Anaru, you are here on two cases, 2023 CF 926 and 2023 MM 681. Judge Alvaro has found probable cause in 2023 CF 926 for the allegations of solicitation to commit premeditated murder in counts 1, 2, and 3. You're currently on no bond. You're going to remain on no bond, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. In 2023 MM 681, that case alleges cyberstalking. Judge Alvaro has found probable cause for that allegation. State, has there been a motion for pretrial detention filed in this case?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, no.
Right, this is a misdemeanor allegation. Is Ms. Anaru entitled to consideration for bond on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond's going to be set in the amount of $10,000. Ms. Anaru, on that case, you're to have no contact whatsoever with the named victim in that case through electronic means, through third party, or any other means whatsoever. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Judge Karsten. I'm one of the circuit judges.
Good to know.
Next court date on demand.
All right, we're going to take some folks that need the interpreters Jerry Salgado.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter, and I have been previously sworn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barreras. Mr. Barreras, we have Mr. Salgado. He's at the jail facility. He'll be doing the interpreting over the intercom system.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Salgado.
Buenas tardes, señor Salgado. Good afternoon.
Mr. Salgado, you are here based on a warrant that was signed by Judge Epperson and alleged that you missed court with him. He has set a bond in your case in the amount of $5,000. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest.
Señor Salgado, usted se encuentra aquí por una orden de arresto que fue firmada por el juez Epperson por una falta de comparecencia. Voy a programar su fianza y él programó su fianza en $5,000. Y voy a designarle las oficinas al defensor público para que lo represente. I've already paid that.
All right, then if you have posted a bond, they should be in the process of going through your bond paperwork. Thank you.
Si es que ya usted pagó la fianza, estarán entonces en los procesos o en el procedimiento de procesar sus documentos. Muchas gracias.
Next court date, May 15th, in courtroom 5B at 1:30 p.m.
Próxima comparecencia, día 15 de mayo, sala 5B, 1:30 de la tarde. And Your Honor, the interpreter could respectfully request the case number for this defendant, please.
My apologies, Mr. Interpreter. That's 2023 CT 1106.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
We have one more, State of Florida versus Jermary Petrocelli Coronado.
PD appointed. Case number 23 MM 683.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Buenos días, señorita. Good afternoon.
Ma'am, you are here based on an allegation of battery domestic violence related. I have read the charging affidavit and do find probable cause for that allegation.
Usted se encuentra aquí por una alegación de agresión física, violencia doméstica. He revisado el acta acusatoria y determino que existen indicios razonables para el cargo.
Your bond is going to be set in the amount of $500 plus the following conditions.
Su fianza será programada en $500 con las siguientes condiciones adicionales.
You may not return to the Cozumel Circle address.
No puede regresar a la dirección que se encuentra en Cozumel Circle.
You may not have contact with the listed victim in this case.
Se le prohíbe contacto con la presunta víctima en este caso.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Le voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que las represente.
Mr. Williams, do you want to ask if Ms. Petrocelli has any personal belongings? All right, we can have the interpreter interpret that question.
Señor Williams, le podemos preguntar a la señorita Petrocelli si tiene pertenencias personales en el lugar de los acontecimientos.
Sí tengo, y el contrato de arrendamiento de ese departamento está a mi nombre y todo lo que está ahí dentro es mío.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, the leasing agreement is in my name, and everything, all the contents belong to me.
Ma'am, I'm going to allow you to return one time with law enforcement to get some personal property while this case gets sorted out.
Señorita, le voy a permitir que regrese una sola vez acompañado de un agente de orden público para recopilar pertenencias personales mientras que se resuelve este asunto.
If you wish to request an amendment of this order, you can do so with the trial court.
Si usted desea enmendar esta orden, lo puede hacer con el juez de su caso.
Do we have any court dates or on demand? Thank you.
Próxima comparecencia cuando sea programada.
Mr. Williams, have you identified anyone else that'll conclude our hearing? Thank you.
Se concluye la vista. Muchas gracias.
Mr. Williams, have you identified anyone else that needs the services of the interpreter?
No, Your Honor. We can do an announcement just to be safe.
Certainly, Your Honor, the interpreter will be happy to do that. Su atención, por favor, si hay alguna persona presente que necesite los servicios del intérprete, por favor, alza la mano en este momento.
There are no hands, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you for your assistance, Mr. Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You as well. State of Florida versus Kaylee Mitchell.
She's approaching.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell. Ms. Mitchell, you are here based on an out-of-county warrant. Looks like it's out of Brevard County, and the allegation is fraudulent use of a credit card and improper use of identification information of another person. You do have bonds on that warrant. Bond in count 1 set in the amount of $5,000. Bond in count 2 is set in the amount of $1,000. Thanks. State of Florida versus Angel Cassiano.
PD appointed.
He's approaching.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Mr. Cassiano.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Cassiano, you are here based on a allegation that you failed to appear for arraignment in front of Judge Sanders Morenci. She issued a warrant for you. She did grant you a bond. In count 1, the attempting to take a deer at night is set at $1,000. The possession of a gun while using a light set in the amount of $2,000. And it looks like the Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent your interests. Thanks.
Next court date if still in jail, April 6th. If filed, April 19th in courtroom 4A at 9 a.m.
Thank you. State of Florida versus Brigitte Salgado.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you were arrested based on an allegation that you missed court on a couple of your cases. One is 2023 CT 765. One is 2023 CT 766. As to the failure to appear, Judge Sanders Morenci issued a warrant but granted you a bond in the amount of $2,000 in 766 and $2,000 in 765. And PD appointment?
Yes.
Yeah. Public defender is appointed on both of your cases. Thanks.
Next court date for 23 CT 765 and 766 if still in jail, April 6th. If filed, April 19th in courtroom 4A at 9 a.m.
State of Florida versus Matthew Nieves.
PD appointed.
He's in the back, Your Honor. He's approaching, but we wait the reading.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nieves.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Williams, are you appointed on Mr. Nieves' case?
Yes, Your Honor. We wait the reading.
Thanks, Mr. Nieves. Your attorney lets me know that you are aware of what the allegations are against you. In count 3 of that allegation, looks like Judge Alvaro has found probable cause for each of the 4 counts. Count 3 has got a bond set in the amount of $5,000. Count 4 has a bond set in the amount of $150. As a condition of any bond, you're going to have no contact with the alleged victim or her immediate family, and you may not return to the scene where this is alleged to have occurred. Ms. Morales, is there a motion for pretrial detention filed on counts 1 and 2?
There is not, Your Honor. I do have a couple of requests for conditions.
All right, thanks. So Mr. Nieves is entitled to consideration for bond as to counts 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor, and I spoke with Ms. Mendez, and they requested that, based on the underlying allegations and the facts, that the court consider a high bond, and that in addition to the conditions that the court has stated, include no contact with minors, and because alcohol was involved in the underlying circumstances, for him to not possess or consume alcohol as well.
Thank you. All right, have reviewed the charging affidavit. Judge Alvaro has already found probable cause. Bond in count 1 is going to be set in the amount of $25,000. Bond in count 2 is going to be set in the amount of $25,000. As a condition of those bonds, Mr. Nieves may have no contact with anyone under the age of 18, may have no contact with the listed victim in this case, may not consume or possess any illegal substances or alcohol, may not possess a weapon or a firearm. Thank you, Mr. Nieves. Bonds will be stayed at $5,000 and $150.
Next court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Alexandra Perez.
PD appointed.
She's approaching.
Good afternoon. All right, you are here based on an allegation of petty theft. One of my colleagues has already found. Nope, I'm sorry. You were here based on an allegation that you miscourt with Judge Jansevich. And Judge Jansevich, based on that information, issued a warrant for your arrest, set bond in the amount of $2,000, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Do we have any court dates for Ms. Perez?
Next court date if still in jail, April 6th, if out April 19th, in courtroom 4A at 9 a.m.
Okay, you'll get those dates in writing. Thanks. State of Florida versus Christopher Harris.
No application for this defendant?
He's in the back, Your Honor. They're bringing him up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, you got a couple issues. One is you have a out-of-county warrant out of Polk County. And the second issue you have is with us in 2023 MM 682, an allegation of resisting an officer without violence. I have reviewed 23 MM 682. The charging affidavit establishes probable cause, and you'll be granted a bond in the amount of $500. As to Polk County, you have a more complicated issue. They have issued a warrant for you based on a violation of probation allegation and have assigned you no bond. We'll let Polk County know that you're here with us, and they'll be notified to come pick you up so you can take care of it over there. As to the new law offense, 23 MM 682, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
Court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Peter Jose Maldonado.
No application for this defendant?
I've been informed that he's refused to appear, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We'll try him again tomorrow. State of Florida versus Rain Santos Mayo, 2023 MM 684.
PD appointed?
Good afternoon. Hi. You're here based on an allegation of battery domestic violence related. I have reviewed the charging affidavit and do find probable cause for your initial arrest. Court is going to set bond in your case in the amount of $500 plus pretrial release conditions. Officer Jenkins, have we had any contact whatsoever with anyone alleged to have been involved?
No, sir.
I haven't heard anything from the alleged victim. You're not going to be able to go back to the Red Lion, probably trespass from there anyway. Do you have any personal property there?
Yes, she does, Your Honor.
I'll allow you to return one time with law enforcement, get some personal property. While this case gets sorted out, you're to have no contact with the alleged victim, in this case, Stephen Hutcherson. And thanks.
I have a question.
Sure.
What if he tries to come for me? I've tried to get away from him several times, and he always comes and finds me.
Well, all I can suggest is that you contact law enforcement if he's acting unlawfully. The only jurisdiction I have is over you based on these allegations. So I've issued a no contact order. If he insists on having contact with you, you can just let him know that you're not allowed to have contact with him. And then if he persists, contact law enforcement. That's the best information I can give you. But if you need to get your stuff, you can show up one time to get your stuff with law enforcement present. Thanks. Good afternoon, Mr. Delgado.
Buenas tardes, señor Delgado. Likewise.
Mr. Delgado, you were arrested based on an allegation of trespass. I have reviewed the charging affidavit and do find probable cause.
Señor Delgado, usted fue arrestado ante la acusación de entrada ilícita a propiedad ajena. Determino de que existe suficiente causa probable para la acusación.
You make an excess of what the court can consider to be indigent.
Usted ingresa por encima de lo que se considera para ser indígena.
You'll need to talk to some of our local attorneys if you wish to be represented.
Si usted desea ser representado por un abogado, va a tener que hablar con los abogados locales y buscar representación privada.
You qualify for release on pretrial release, and you will be released on the pretrial release program.
Usted califica para la libertad condicional y estará bajo la libertad condicional dentro de ese programa.
Please understand that you may not go back to the Tulpen Drive address, and you will need to provide pretrial release with a valid address as to where you will be residing while this case gets worked out.
Debe de saber de que no puede regresar a la dirección del Tulpen Drive y que usted tiene que proporcionar una dirección de residencia válida al programa de libertad condicional.
Do we have an additional court date?
Your Honor,
Yes.
the state would also request at this time no contact with Mariela Delgado Santiago.
La fiscalía solicita que no tenga contacto, que el acusado no tenga contacto con la señorita Mariela Delgado. Okay.
All right, thank you. The state of Florida is requesting, and I will grant at this point no contact with Ms. Delgado Santiago.
La fiscalía está solicitando y yo le concedo la petición a la fiscalía de no tener contacto con la señora Delgado Santiago.
Ms. Acosta, do you want to ask if this gentleman has any personal property at that location?
Yes, Your Honor.
Se le quiere preguntar a este acusado si él tiene alguna de sus pertenencias todavía en esa ubicación.
Yes, Your Honor, he had his clothing and some items at the property.
Si él todavía tiene su ropa en la propiedad.
The court will allow Mr. Delgado Santiago to return one time with law enforcement present to get some personal property.
Le voy a conceder al señor Delgado Santiago la oportunidad de regresar solamente una vez a la propiedad acompañado de las autoridades para que pueda sacar sus pertenencias.
Thank you.
Gracias, señor.
Mr. Leon, our next case is Jean Gonzalez Hernandez. The case number is 2023 MM675.
Public defender appointed.
Your Honor, respectfully, 2023 CF or MM?
MM675.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor.
Igual.
Likewise.
Sir, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery domestic violence related.
Señor, usted fue arrestado bajo la alegación de agresión, violencia doméstica.
We may have a witness present.
Posiblemente tenemos a un testigo presente.
Sir, your name, please.
Dale, José González Olmo. Señorita.
I believe this gentleman's going to need the assistance of an interpreter as well, Mr. Leon.
¿Cuál es su nombre, señor? Repita en voz alta y despacio.
José Manuel González Olmo.
José Manuel González Gordo.
All right, thank you. Sir, I have found probable cause for Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez's arrest.
Señor, yo determino de que existe suficiente causa probable para el arresto del señor González Hernández.
Are you the alleged victim in the case?
¿Es usted la víctima supuesta en este caso, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Sí.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I will be making some decisions as to whether Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez may have contact and may return to the home.
Señor, entonces ahora yo voy a emitir ciertas decisiones con respecto al señor González Hernández, si puede regresar a la casa y si puede tener contacto.
Do you wish to give me...
Puede regresar a la casa.
Perdón, repita.
Sí, puede regresar a la casa.
Yes, he can come back to the house.
Have you had issues involving allegations of violence in the past?
¿En el pasado ha tenido algún otro incidente de violencia?
No.
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 Are there any minor children in the home?
¿En el hogar hay menores?
¿Perdón?
¿Hay menores en el hogar?
No.
No.
Do you have any fear if Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez is let back into the home for yourself or anyone in the home?
¿Usted teme por sí mismo o por cualquier otra persona dentro del hogar si el señor González Hernández se le permite que regrese a la casa?
Sí, es permitido.
Yes, I mean, he can come back.
Do you have any fear of acts of violence if he is allowed to come back in the home?
Pero ¿tiene usted miedo de que él cometa nuevos actos de violencia si a él se le permite regresar a la casa?
No.
No.
Does he have any access to weapons or firearms in the home?
¿Él tiene acceso a algún tipo de arma, ya sea arma de fuego o armas blancas en la casa?
No.
No.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez's interests.
Voy a seleccionar al defensor público para que represente al señor González Hernández.
Ms. Acosta, do you have any questions of the witness?
No, Your Honor. The defense is requesting no hostile contact with in the return to his house.
Thank you.
La defensa no tiene ninguna otra pregunta para el testigo, más allá de que no tenga, si el acusado regresa al hogar, que no tenga ningún tipo de contacto hostil con nadie.
Ms. Pinnell?
Yes, Your Honor. Sir, was there an incident involving violence that occurred in November of 2022 between the defendant and his mother?
Señor, hubo un incidente involucrando violencia en noviembre del 2022 entre el acusado y la madre de él.
Eso sí fue correcto.
Yes, that is correct.
In this case that happened yesterday, did you call law enforcement?
Y en este caso que ocurrió ayer, ¿fue usted quien llamó a las autoridades?
No.
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 Who called law enforcement?
¿Quién llamó a las autoridades?
El Jan González.
Jan González.
Sí.
May I say something?
Yes.
Sí, diga usted.
¿Perdón? Sí.
Sí.
What would you like the court to know?
¿Qué es lo que usted quería decir?
El nene es un paciente de psiquiatra. Él bebe medicamentos. No sé si fue que no se bebió los medicamentos. Y al no beberse los medicamentos, pues ese fue el problema.
The child, he is a psychiatric patient and he takes medication. Now, I do not know if he did or didn't take the medications, being that the cause of the problem.
Right, he's 24 years old, correct?
Él tiene 24 años de edad, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Is
Yes.
he working?
Él está trabajando, señor.
Sí, él trabaja en Popeye.
¿En dónde, señor?
En Popeye.
Yes, he does work in a Popeyes.
Thank you. You may continue, Ms. Pinnell.
Is there somebody available that could assist the defendant in taking his prescribed medication?
¿Hay alguien disponible que pueda ayudar al acusado para que él siempre tome sus medicamentos?
La madre, la mamá, mi esposa, que diga.
His mother,
Sí.
my wife, I mean.
Marisa
Maritza
Hernández.
Hernandez.
Other than the incident last year in November, has there been any other instances where the defendant has become violent?
Además del incidente que ocurrió en noviembre del año pasado, ¿hubieron algún otro incidente o incidentes que hayan ocurrido cuando el acusado se haya comportado violentamente?
No,
No.
no.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. State, wish to be heard as to conditions of bond? Thank you, sir.
¿La Fiscalía desea plantear algo con respecto a la fianza?
Your Honor, I would like the court to take notice that there was a similar allegation in November of 2022. That allegation was dismissed as the victim in that case did not want to prosecute. Based upon the affidavit, it's clear that the defendant may have mental health issues. The state would require, sorry.
Deseo que su señoría, por favor, tenga pendiente de que ya un incidente como este ocurrió en noviembre del año pasado, aun cuando esa acusación fue desestimada a resultado de que la víctima no quiso proceder con la acusación. Go ahead, ma'am.
The state would ask that any conditions on the defendant, one of them be to comply with any prescribed medication that he may be taking and any treatment that he may be undergoing.
Basado en su condición, la Fiscalía entonces solicita de que él siga y cumpla con cualquier condición que tenga con respecto a su tratamiento.
The state would, based upon Mr. Gonzalez Olmo's statements in court, would request that the court order no hostile contact.
Basado en el testimonio del señor González, la Fiscalía solicita de que se imponga contacto no hostil.
The state would request no consumption of alcohol or narcotics that are not prescribed.
La Fiscalía solicita de que se ordene el no consumo de ningún tipo de narcótico ni alcohol que no sean prescritos.
And finally, the state would request that the defendant be ordered not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Finalmente, la Fiscalía solicita de que se ordene de que el acusado no tenga en su posesión ningún tipo de arma, ni de fuego, ni arma blanca.
Ms. Acosta, anything further?
Your Honor, there was not weapon involved in this incident, so that would be my objection for that condition.
La objeción que tengo en relación a esa condición es de que no existe ningún tipo de arma en el hogar.
Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez, the court is going to set a bond in the amount of $500 plus the following conditions of pretrial release.
Señor González Hernández, emitiré una fianza de $500 más las condiciones siguientes en relación a la libertad.
You are to have no hostile contact with Jose Gonzalez Olmo.
No puede tener ningún tipo de contacto hostil con el señor José González Olmos.
You are to maintain your medication compliance as recommended by a doctor.
Tiene que cumplir y seguir con las recomendaciones de su doctor con respecto a los medicamentos.
You are to continue with any mental health treatment that you are undergoing.
Tiene que continuar con cualquier y todos los tratamientos de salud mental por lo que usted está pasando.
The court is going to find that the family is in the best possible position to gauge whether they are in fear of Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez.
Determino de que la familia es la que está en la mejor disposición de entender si pueden tener cualquier miedo con respecto al señor González Hernández.
They have indicated that they are not and wish for the defendant to return home.
Ya ellos han indicado de que no tienen ningún miedo y desean de que el acusado regrese a casa.
Court will allow the defendant to return to the Sugar Mill Road address
Permitiré de que el acusado regrese a la residencia en la Sugar Mill
as a condition of pretrial release. Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez is not to consume any illegal drugs or alcohol.
Como condición de la libertad, se le ordena de que no consuma ningún tipo de estupefaciente o drogas ni ningún tipo de alcohol.
As a condition of pretrial release, he's not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Como condición también de su libertad, no puede tener en su posesión ningún tipo de arma, ni de fuego, ni arma blanca.
Conclude our hearing. Thank you.
Eso termina la audiencia. Gracias.
Next court date on demand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
One last case, Mr. Leal Vicente Borrego.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor. Good afternoon.
Sir, you were arrested for DUI.
Usted fue arrestado por conducir bajo los efectos de sustancias.
I find probable cause for your arrest.
Determino de que existe suficiente carga probable para su arresto.
No, sir. Immigration status.
Is he qualified for the services of the Public Defender's Office? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Borrego.
Designaré al defensor público para que represente al señor Borrego.
You will receive a bond in the amount of $500.
Fijaré fianza en la cantidad de $500.
As a condition of that bond, you may not drive without a valid driver's license.
Como condición de esa fianza, no puede conducir sin una licencia válida.
You may not consume any illegal substances or alcohol.
No puede consumir ningún tipo de sustancias ilegales, como tampoco alcohol. Yes.
Una pregunta.
Right.
May I ask a question?
Mr. Costa would probably prefer that you didn't if it's about the facts of the case.
Si es en relación a los hechos del caso, la señorita Acosta prefiere de que usted no haga ninguna pregunta.
Ms. Acosta?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I will answer his question.
Thank
La
you.
señorita Acosta responderá cualquier pregunta que usted tenga.
That'll conclude our hearing. Thank you.
Esto concluye la audiencia. Muchas gracias. Your Honor, respectfully, can I have the case number for Mr. Borrego?
My apologies. 23 CT 1397. And we may have
Thank you, Your Honor.
and we may have a court date for him. Hold on just a second.
Next court date is still in jail, April 6th, if out, April 19th, in courtroom 4A at 8:15 a.m.
En la siguiente fecha que se ha fijado para la audiencia será, si todavía está encarcelado, será abril 6. Si está fuera de la cárcel, será abril 19 en la sala 4A a las 8:15 a.m.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Leal.
At your service, Your Honor. Have a wonderful afternoon.
As well. State of Florida versus Asia Allen, 2023 MM 669.
Present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you.
PD appointed.
Ms. Allen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Allen, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery domestic violence for that issue with your dad. The court's going to find probable cause for your arrest. The Office of the Public Defender has previously been appointed. You're to have no contact as a condition of, well, you're going to get a bond in the amount of $500 plus pretrial release conditions. As a condition of pretrial release, you're going to have no contact with Dad for the short term. That's going to be, I guess, Mr. Allen, and you're not to return to the Club Corteil Circle address. Ms. Acosta, do you want to ask if she's got some personal belongings, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, she just answered she has personal belongings. Can she have like one-time return with an officer, Your Honor, to retrieve her belongings?
Yes, court will allow you to return one time with law enforcement to get some personal property while this case is pending. As a condition of pretrial release, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Ashley DeBrard, 2023 MM 670.
Present and approaching, Your Honor.
Denied above guidelines.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Mr. Berard.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Berard, you were arrested based on battery domestic violence for that issue with your long-term husband. I understand Mr. Berard was also arrested. It indicates on my document here that you wish to have contact with Mr. Berard if the court is considering contact. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Berard, I'm going to ask that you have a seat, and we'll bring up Mr. Berard. I need some input from him as to whether he wishes to have contact. I'll call you back in just a minute. State of Florida versus Weller Berard, 2023 MM 671.
Denied above guidelines.
Good afternoon, Mr. Berard.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Berard, you as well were arrested based on an allegation of battery domestic violence with your long-term wife. I am considering conditions of bond for both of you. Do you wish to have contact with Mr. Berard?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any fear that there's going to be further acts of domestic violence?
No, Your Honor.
Have there been any issues of domestic violence in the past?
Never, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I find probable cause for your arrest. You make in excess of what the court can consider to be indigent for purposes of the appointment of the public defender's office, so you'll need to hire a local counsel if you wish to be represented by an attorney if and when formal charges are filed. I'm going to release you on a $250 bond plus pretrial release conditions. Court is going to allow no hostile contact with Ashley Berard. You may return to the Chatsworth Circle address. And I don't believe I'll have any additional court dates for you at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's recall Ms. Berard, 2023 MM 670. Mr. Berard, I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $250 plus pretrial release conditions. Those conditions being that you're going to have no hostile contact, my apology, with Mr. Berard, the victim. You will be allowed to return to the Chatsworth Circle address. And I've got no additional court dates to give you. You as well make in excess of what the court can consider indigent for purposes of the public defender's office. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$250 plus pretrial release. State of Florida versus James DeVore. Or DeVore.
Denied above guidelines.
Good afternoon, Mr. DeVore.
Good afternoon.
Mr. DeVore, you got three separate cases that all got split out from the same set of circumstances. Your first case is 2023 CF 915. It alleges one count of possession of over 20 grams of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for that arrest. You make in excess of what the court can consider indigent for purposes of appointment of the Office of the Public Defender, so you're going to have to talk to some of our local attorneys if you wish to be represented by counsel on these matters. Bond in count one in that case is going to be set in the amount of $1,500, and bond in count two is going to be set in the amount of $500. As to the next issue, 2023 CF 916, court finds probable cause for the allegations that you were arrested for on that case, which is fleeing or attempting to elude an officer with lights and sirens activated and reckless driving. Bond in the fleeing is going to be set in the amount of $3,500. Bond in the reckless driving will be set in the amount of $1,000. As to 2023 MM 674, there's an allegation of resisting an officer without violence. Ms. Pinnell, I received a supplemental filing. I'm not exactly sure what the lawful command that he resisted was and whether that's not encompassed in the fleeing or attempted to elude. I didn't see any verbal commands or anything when he took off running. So the court's going to find that there's no PC on that case. You'll be ROR'd on 23 MM 674. I'm not sure whether they'll file charges on that case or not, but I find the record evidence insufficient on that case and probably subsumed by the fleeing or attempting to elude case. Do we have any additional court dates? State will be taking a look at what to file, Mr. DeVore. You'll be noticed, and then when and if they file, you can talk to some of our local counsel. Thanks. You got bonds on all your cases.
Thank you, sir.
916 was $3,500, count one, and $1,000, count two. State of Florida versus Tracy Houghton, 2023 CF 917.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Houghton.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Houghton, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I understand the circumstances of the case, but I do find probable cause. Bond's going to be set in the amount of $250 plus pretrial release conditions. Those are going to be that you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, Mohammed Mikhail. And what was the issue with PD? Was he? Yeah, and the Office of the Public Defender has been appointed to represent your interests. So, 250 plus pretrial release conditions, no contact. Thanks. State of Florida versus Brittany Polk, 2023 MM 676.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, Ms. Polk.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Ms. Polk, are you in town visiting?
Yes.
I took a look at the allegations on the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. I am inclined to set you a bond with some pretrial release conditions. We do have a victim that is present. Sir, your name, please?
My name is Andrew Marilillo.
Thank you, and we're going to place you under oath real quick.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Marilillo, it's alleged on the charging affidavit you are the victim in the case. I'm going to be making some decisions as to contact and location as to where Ms. Polk can be. Do you wish to give me some information as to that?
I do not wish to press any charges.
All right. A lot of people come into initial appearances and indicate that to me. I don't bring charges in the state of Florida. That's the state of Florida, the prosecutor's decision. There is a process that you can follow before you leave the building. You can go to their office, and there may be some documentation that you can memorialize your wishes. Ultimately, the decision is going to be theirs as to whether they file charges against your wishes or not, but they will take into consideration your thoughts on the matter. At this point, I appreciate you bringing that to the court's attention. I've got some specific questions for you. Are you in fear of Ms. Polk?
No.
Are you guys intending to travel home together?
That was the plan,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Did you drive or fly down here?
Fly.
Okay. When is your flight?
We're scheduled to leave Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay. All right. Have there been any issues alleging domestic violence in the past here or anywhere else?
This is the worst.
Okay.
This is the only time that there were marks left. I feel it is a one-off and that we could take precautions on our own to alleviate the issues.
Okay. Is it your intention to cohabitate when you return back home? Was this alcohol or drug related?
Alcohol.
Ms. Pennell, any questions?
Did your plans change because you said that it was your intention originally to travel home together? Are you still planning on doing that?
The only obstacle is this issue. I'm still planning on traveling home, other than us being here. If she were to be bonded out, like to pick her up, if necessary, get a separate hotel room for the night or two, and then travel home together, and then find some family counseling and things of that nature. This is a wake-up call for us, and I would like to use it as a way to get better.
You mentioned marks. I see some marks on your forearms. Is that related to this incident?
Yes.
And There was also a minor child. Was the minor child present during the altercation
She was sleeping, yes.
in the same room?
In a different room.
And has Ms. Polk been violent before?
When drinking, yes.
Did you have an occasion while you were here visiting?
Friday was her birthday, so we were drinking more than normal.
Did she get violent on Friday?
Somewhat. No marks or anything.
If the court ordered you to maintain, or Ms. Polk to maintain a separate residence from you, would that be possible?
It could be accommodated, yes.
Do you have other family where you live in New York?
No, it's just us. I was relocated there for my job, and we've been there a year now, so we would have to source a apartment, something like that.
Do you have family that resides in Florida, or you just? Okay. Are there any weapons or firearms within the home?
No.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Acosta, any questions?
Yes, the defense doesn't have any further question, Your Honor.
Thank you. Kennedy is 5?
She just turned 6.
Just turned 6. Thank you. Any additional questions, Ms. Pennell?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Acosta? Right. Requests on bond from the state. Sir, thank you very much for that information. We'll give you some information in just a minute. Mr. Pennell? Ms. Pennell?
Your Honor, I understand the victim's wishes, especially with it being a vacation incident. Given the fact that there have been other incidences involving the defendant, the state would request at this time that there be no contact. If the court is inclined to order contact based upon the testimony, the state would request no hostile contact. The state also would request that the defendant be ordered to not possess or consume any alcohol, not possess any firearms. And I think that's all the
Let
conditions.
me ask an additional question, Mr. Marillo. Any concerns regarding allegations of violence between mom and the child?
No further concerns when there's no alcohol involved.
Has there been any investigations between her and the child before?
Investigations?
Yes.
Related to alcohol?
Between allegations of violence relating to Kennedy?
No.
Thank you. Is she able to be supervised out of New York, Officer Jenkins?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
but not for alcohol.
But not what?
For alcohol.
Mr. Marillo, the court is going to grant contact between you and the defendant. It's going to be non-hostile contact. I'm going to also order that as a condition of a bond in the amount of $500 plus pretrial release conditions that Ms. Polk possess nor consume 0 alcohol. Would you be willing to call pretrial release if it is observed that Ms. Polk is drinking in violation of this court order?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Ms. Polk, the court is going to allow contact between you and Mr. Marillo. You're going to be permitted to, well, I'm not sure if you're welcome back to the Westgate address. I don't know whether you were trespassed or not. If you are legally able to go back to Westgate, you're permitted to do so. with Mr. Marilillo. And certainly, you're to have no hostile contact with Mr. Marilillo. Ms. Bach, I can't be more clear that you may not consume or possess any alcohol as a condition of this release. If it is reported to the court that you are consuming alcohol in violation of the court order, I can revoke your bond and have you extradited to Florida, which would be an unpleasant trip. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other conditions of release? Bond amounts $500 plus pretrial release.
I do understand that the victim in this case did indicate that there was no firearms in the home. The state would just ask for no weapons or firearms.
I think it's a standard condition of pretrial release that she possess no weapons or firearms. I've got no additional court dates to give you, Ms. Paul. Please abide by the court's orders. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
State of Florida versus Deltonio Watson, 2023 CF 919 and 2023 MM 677. Thanks.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Watson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, you were arrested, I guess, at the same time as Ms. Allen for that issue. You have different charges. Your charges are in 23 MM 677, an allegation of battery. I do find probable cause for that allegation. Your bond set in the amount of $500 as a condition on that case. You can't go back to the Club Corteil Circle address. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Acosta, do you want to ask whether he's got personal property there?
Yes, Your Honor, he has personal property. So
Court will-
defense requesting one-time return, Your Honor.
Court will allow a one-time return with law enforcement present to get some personal property, Mr. Watson, while this case is getting sorted out. You've also got felony allegations in 2023 CF 919. You were charged with possession of marijuana with intent to sell or deliver and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond in count 1 is going to be set in the amount of $3,500. Bond in count 2 is going to be set in the amount of $500. And the Office of the Public Defender is appointed on that case as well. Thank
Your
you.
Honor,
Yes, Ms. Spinell?
the battery case, I know you ordered no return and one-time assist. Will you also order no contact with
Yeah, I
them?
missed the no contact. You're also to have no contact with Eddie Allen. Thanks.
Your Honor, do you want, PTR?
Is he qualified for pretrial release?
Bond with PTR?
We'll get a straight bond on 2023 CF 9119. What, can we do pretrial release on 23 MM 677? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's going to be a $500 bond plus pretrial release with no contact, no return one time with law enforcement. Thanks. Thank you, sir. State of Florida versus Jeffrey Wiedenman.
PD appointed.
Your Honor, quick question regarding this past case. If I misunderstood that he's supposed to have no contact with Aisha Allen?
Negative. Eddie was the victim.
Eddie, okay.
That was the code.
Clarification. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Mr. Wiedenman, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Wiedenman, you are here based on an allegation of battery domestic violence in 2023 MM 678. I do find probable cause for that arrest. I see that we have a victim present. Ma'am, your name, please?
Jessica Meads.
Thank you, Ms. Meads. We're going to place you under oath.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thanks, Ms. Meads. I'm going to be making some decisions as to contact and whether it's a good idea for this gentleman to return. Do you guys live together?
We do not.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do you wish to give me some information as to issues of contact?
Can you repeat that again?
Do you wish to have contact?
Yes, we have 2 children together.
Okay. Is there a child sharing agreement with the courts, or is that just between you guys?
Just between us?
All right. Have there been issues of domestic violence in the past?
I mean, there's never been any physical altercation or anything like that.
Understood. All right, how old are the minor children?
1 and 3.
Thank you. All right. Was alcohol or drugs a factor in this issue?
Yes, my fault.
Okay. All right, thank you. If the court allowed no hostile contact, do you have a means of communication to call law enforcement if you were worried about something?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Pennell, any questions?
No question, Your Honor.
Ms. Meads, did you call law enforcement in this case?
No, he called.
He is?
Jeffrey.
Okay. And when the incident occurred, where were your children?
At home with me.
Were they present during the altercation?
There was really no altercation, but yes, they were there. Yes.
And is it your testimony today that Mr. Jeffrey Wiedemann was not under the influence of alcohol?
He was, but it was me that was belligerent, not him. He called the police on me. It should be me in jail, not him.
Was there any physical contact between Jeffrey and yourself?
Not at all.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Acosta?
No further question, Your Honor.
Officer Jenkins?
10/2022 in South Carolina, he got a possible case open for domestic assault and battery.
Is that why he doesn't qualify for PTR?
Right, he don't qualify for PTR.
Thank you, ma'am, for that information. I'll have some information for you in just a sec. Ms. Pennell?
Your Honor, the state would request no contact between the defendant and the victim in this case. I do understand that Ms. Meads was present and asked the court for contact. I would like to point out in the report that once law enforcement arrived on scene, there was a lack of cooperation and almost an impediment to their investigation. The state has concerns that if the defendant was allowed to have contact with the victim, that the state is concerned for the safety of the victim. There were 2 minor children who were present during the altercation. So the state also has concerns for the safety of all involved. The state would ask for no contact, no return, no alcohol, no weapons or firearms.
Do we have a prior criminal history on Mr. Wiedemann?
He has no history here in the state of Florida, but in South Carolina, from 2003 to 2004, grand larceny, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, burglary. In 10/5/2022, domestic assault and battery. And that case is still open.
Yeah, I got in trouble when I was 18. I got
Yeah, I'm not worried about that case.
Okay, thank you so much. I've been pretty good.
All right. Court's going to set bond the amount of $1,000. You're not going to be able to go back to the Parkway East Street address while this case is pending. I'll appoint Ms. Acosta to represent your interest here. Ms. Acosta, you want to ask if he's got any personal property there?
Yes, I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to allow you to return one time with law enforcement. You can't give him a hard time. Return one time with law enforcement, get some personal property to handle, to tide you over while this case is pending. You are to maintain separate residences from Jessica.
Right.
And
Do you have to pay the whole $1,000 or? Is there...
if you talk to a bondsman, they'll probably work with you and work something out that's less than that. Was this observed by law enforcement? Looks like it.
I believe some of it was, based upon my reading of the affidavit, but I haven't spoken to the deputy myself to verify.
Yeah. All right. You can return one time to get some personal property, but you're not to go back to Parkway East. I understand you guys got kids together. The court's going to allow contact between you and the alleged victim, who has indicated she wants contact with you. She's in the best possible position to gauge her level of fear, but you're not to go back to the house. That's going to be her spot for right now. And if there's, if you guys are going to meet, it's going to be away from that address. No hostile contact means exactly what it sounds like. No loud verbal arguments. No putting your hands on her without her permission. You're going, because I don't have any jurisdiction over Ms. Meads, you are not to possess or consume any alcohol as a condition of your bond. Thanks, Mr. Whedon.
Your Honor, the state would ask for no weapons or firearms.
Yeah, I got, as a standard condition of your bond, you're to possess no weapons or firearms. So, if you got any in the car, or if there's any in that property, they got to be gone by the time you go back with law enforcement. You understand?
Is there any way to, I don't know if I'll be able to, I'm just asking, is there like can I get a lower bond maybe?
Talk to a bondsman and see what you can do. That's a fairly standard bond. For this, I think customarily they charge about 10%.
Okay.
I don't know whether that'll be the case with this type of charge, but that's generally how bondsmen work. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, sir. State of Florida versus Johnny Pagan.
No application.
Not what?
No application. They did. I don't know if he didn't fill it out.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Pagan.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Pagan, you are here based on an allegation of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. Apparently that happens at the jail. I have found probable cause for your arrest. Bond in that case is going to be set in the amount of $2,500. Unfortunately, you're out on release. In fact, I just got presented with a request for your release on ROR. That request is going to be denied, and your release is going to be revoked. In 2023 CF 512, I have probable cause to believe you committed a new law offense while you were awaiting your release. That bond will be set in the amount of none. You're also out on 2023 CF 1279 and 2022 CF 14471 out of Orange County. I don't know what his situation of release was on those cases.
I think some of these cases, because he's still in jail, he haven't left. So
Right.
I think on some of these cases, I'm not for sure that
He had a bond on 2023 CF 512. They were waiting out the 33 days. But I don't know the Orange County cases. (2023) CF 1279, 2022 CF 14471.
22 CF 14471 is set for, or was set for arraignment on March 14th.
Is he out on bond?
Defendant failed, it indicates that it's in capious status.
All right, he was in custody.
Our system.
He may have been in custody with us. But he was out on release on 2022 CF 14471.
The capious happened on January 27th of 23.
Okay. All right. There's an active warrant on 2022 CF 14471. I'm going to take no action on that one. How about 2023 CF 1279?
I see that the defendant was arrested in January of 2023. Our office hasn't made a filing decision at this point, so
Is he out on release?
my guess is he was ROR'd in that case.
Okay, court's going to revoke ROR on 2023 CF 1279. Bond will be set in the amount of none. Mr. Pagan, you got a whole bunch of problems now based on this, the court having probable cause that you committed a new law offense there in the jail. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on this case.
Your Honor, based upon the allegations, the state would ask for no contact with Ricky White.
As much as the jail can facilitate it, you're to have no contact with the co-defendant, Ricky White. Thanks. State of Florida versus Ricky White.
Video appointed.
Hey, Mr. White.
How you doing, Honor?
I'm all right. Mr. White, you as well were arrested for possession of a controlled substance there at the jail. If find probable cause, we'll grant bond the amount of $2,500 and appoint the Office of the Public Defender in that case. You unfortunately are out on bond on, or you are eligible for bond on two other cases, 2022 CF 1879 and 2022 CF 2583. The court is revoking your eligibility for bond. Find that there's probable cause to believe you committed a new felony law offense while you are eligible for bond. Bond in both of those cases is going to be set in the amount of none. Thanks. State of Florida versus Jonathan Vasquez.
Your Honor, defense is requesting a reset because Mr. Vasquez is detoxing